Chapter 71. Su Qingsang looked like a chrysalis, unable to move under Hua Jinyao's body. Unfortunately, she was the one who had trapped herself in a cocoon of her own making. There would be only one head sticking out. It was very hot. Even with the air conditioner, Su Qingsang couldn't stand it. After a while, she begged for mercy. Get up, get up. She was so hot that she was sweating. Hua Jinyao just looked at her and didn't move. He just acted like a rascal. I'm not getting up. You didn't even call me husband. What? I called you wife the whole night last night, but you didn't call me husband. Hua Jinyao's voice was filled with grievance and accusation. Stop it. Get out of the way. She was really hot. And hungry. Fortunately, she didn't have to go to work today. Otherwise, she would definitely be late. No, I won't. If you call me husband, I'll let you go. When Hua Jinyao became a rascal, Su Qingsang definitely couldn't resist him. Hua Jinyao, you bit me yesterday. This sound was even more aggrieved. Hua Jinyao moved his shoulder in front of her to let her see his masterpiece. Tell me, how are you going to make it up to me? There were several bite marks on Hua Jinyao's shoulder. Su Qingsang was angry, embarrassed, and ashamed. She did remember that she bit him last night when she was in pain. It seemed more than one bite. At first, it was pain and then it was tiredness. She wanted to beg him for mercy several times and ask him to let her go, but this guy just refused. I said that we would fight for 7 rounds. It's still early. How could she really let him do it 7 times? She would definitely die in his hands then. Later, begging for mercy didn't work. She was exhausted and angry, so she could only bite him. But she didn't expect the mark to be so deep. There was even one on her neck. If the neckline of her clothes was a little bigger, she was afraid that people would see it. Su Qingsang blushed and didn't look at Hua Jinyao. Get out of the way. You make it up to me first. Hua Jinyao slightly narrowed his eyes as if he was calculating. Look, you owed me many times before. Plus yesterday, how much do you think you owe me? How could there be such a rascal? Such a rascal? Su Qingsang was angry. Didn't I pay you back yesterday? What do you mean? Yesterday? Even though Su Qingsang was an obstetrician and could remain extremely calm in front of patients, she was choked and speechless. What about me yesterday? Hua Jinyao smirked. Su Qingsang gritted her teeth. Are you going to get up or not? Hua Jinyao stepped back as he spoke. Just as Su Qingsang was about to pull the quilt away, he took the opportunity to get under the covers. Jinyao? I hate to be in debt. Since you owe me, you should pay me back quickly. Su Qingsang hadn't realized what he was talking about. She foolishly followed his words and said, I did it yesterday. Yes, you did. I haven't. Hua Jinyao leaned against her. I paid you back for yesterday and today. Today's and tomorrow's. I don't want you to return it. What kind of nonsense was this? Why did he bring her in? I think it's still. With these 3 words, Hua Jinyao sealed his lips with a kiss. Su Qingsang couldn't fight back. She turned into fine sand on the beach, was swept up by the waves, and was washed ashore. Huge waves surged, rolling up boundless waves and bringing up countless fine sand. Su Qingsang and Hua Jinyao fooled around until it was almost noon. She was starving and had no strength. Hua Jinyao was also aware of what he had done, so he called someone to deliver food. Su Qingsang ate some food and took a nap. She didn't wake up until it was almost evening. Feeling a little better, she was thinking about whether she should sleep for a while, only to find that Hua Jinyao was not there. She slightly frowned and looked at the empty room. She was momentarily disappointed. She thought that he would be guarding her. Chapter 72. Hua Jinyao was completely different from his usual carefree self. Su Qingsang was a little curious. She even forgot about the discomfort in her body and walked towards the balcony. Hua Jinyao turned his face sideways and didn't see her approach. The news on the other end of the phone made his face turn ugly. His face was cold, and his voice was lower than usual. There's no room for negotiation. If they didn't agree, then he would change to another one. We can see who will be at a disadvantage. Don't bring her up to pressure me. If you want to follow her, I don't mind. After saying this, the glass door was pulled open. Su Qingsang walked out. Hua Jinyao was stunned. His fingers reacted first and hung up the phone. You're up? Yes. Su Qingsang's voice was a little hoarse when she spoke. Realizing the reason, she felt uncomfortable. Who are you calling? She didn't want to think about the previous scene, nor did she want to think about what this guy had done to her. Su Qingsang changed the subject. Nothing, just someone from the company. Someone from the company? Why do you look so angry? She didn't hear it clearly, but she could tell from her expression. It's okay. Hua Jinyao said, there's something wrong with the contract we signed a few days ago. Don't worry. I can handle it. Su Qingsang didn't know much about these things, so she didn't ask. As long as it can be solved. She wanted to say that he could tell her if he needed any help, but she remembered that there was nothing she could do to help. He didn't say anything else. Hua Jinyao put the phone in his pocket, stepped forward, and put his arm around Su Qingsang's waist. You care about me? Su Qingsang's waist was still soft. Being hugged by him made her feel like she couldn't even stand straight. Let go. You care about me? Seeing that she didn't answer, Hua Jinyao wasn't disappointed. Instead, he kissed her on the cheek and said, My wife is so nice. You care about me so much. I'm really touched. 3 black lines appeared on Su Qingsang's forehead. Could this guy not be so good at talking to himself? I didn't. Looks like you're very satisfied with my efforts yesterday. They all know that they care about me. I'm so touched. Hua Jinyao's ability to talk to himself had once again refreshed Su Qingsang's understanding of him. How thick was this person's skin? How was she concerned about him? Also, what did he mean by she was very satisfied with his efforts yesterday? Go away, I'm not satisfied. Her waist was about to break. What was there for her to be satisfied about? You're not satisfied? Hua Jinyao turned to look at her with a strange expression on his face. Let's do it again. Don't worry. I promise you'll be satisfied this time. Hua Jinyao. Su Qingsang had had enough. She had never met anyone as shameless as this guy. Are you going to move or not? Let. Hua Jinyao knew when to stop. Seeing that Su Qingsang didn't seem to be in a good mood, he touched his nose and walked up to her. Honey, are you hungry? You haven't eaten anything all day. What do you want to eat? It would have been better if he hadn't mentioned it. Now that he did, Su Qingsang wanted to kill him. Who was responsible for her not eating for a day? Hua Jinyao shrank his neck when she glanced at him coldly. It's late. Should I order takeout now? Su Qingsang didn't respond. She didn't have the energy to go out to eat anyway. When they were outside, the two of them sat on the sofa together. Hua Jinyao held her in his arms and rested his chin on her shoulder. Su Qingsang felt uncomfortable. She couldn't stand it and wanted to hide. Don't touch me. Hua Jinyao looked innocent. I didn't touch you. He moved his mouth and head, not his hands and feet. Su Qingsang gritted her teeth and took a deep breath. She told herself not to argue with a rascal. Chapter 73. Hua Jinyao tightened his grip on her waist. He was behind her, so she couldn't see his expression. Our company? That's right. What were they doing on a business trip for so many days? You said the contract has been negotiated. What is it about? Su Qingsang didn't come back to her senses until she said that. She turned to look at Hua Jinyao. Since she was his other half, she should at least know what he did outside, right? Hua Jinyao hugged her tightly and kissed her on the cheek. Aren't you worried about me? They're starting to care about my work. Hua Jinyao. Don't change the subject. Su Qingsang began to feel that something was wrong. Don't change the subject. She really didn't care about him. She just wanted to clarify things. In the future, she would have to deal with the Li family, the Su family, and even some related people. She didn't want to be ignorant. As long as he had a proper job, as long as the things he did were not shameful. She didn't mind at all. Well, Hua Jinyao touched his nose and said, It's not that I don't want to tell you. It's just that I'm new here, and the company I work for is also a small one. So, it's fine if it's a small company. What does it do? It's a trading company. Hua Jinyao nodded. A very small trading company. There are only a few people including me. That's why I'm going with the boss for that business last time. Su Qingsang stared into his eyes, as if she was trying to confirm his words. Hua Jinyao's eyes were dark and bright. At that moment, she could clearly see her own reflection in them. The words that Su Qingsang wanted to say stopped there. For a moment, she forgot what she wanted to say. Her eyes were still filled with suspicion. Hua Jinyao cleared his throat and seemed a little uncomfortable. It's really a very small trading company. It's too small for me to tell you. I'm fine. When Su Qingsang came back to her senses, she realized that she was staring at Hua Jinyao in a daze, which was not a good sign. It doesn't matter if the company is small. Do it well. Everyone starts from a young age. Honey, you're the best. As Hua Jinyao spoke, he kissed her on the cheek again. Don't worry. I'll definitely work hard. Su Qingsang looked at the look on his face that was begging for praise, and 3 black lines appeared on her forehead again. The next day was Sunday. Su Qingsang was woken up by Hua Jinyao early in the morning. She was so sleepy that she broke free from Hua Jinyao's hand and lay back down. Stop it. I'm so sleepy. This fellow was not enough to mess with her for one night, so he messed with her for half the night yesterday. She was sleepy and didn't want to get up. The weather is good today. Let's go out and play. Hua Jinyao was in high spirits. He grabbed Su Qingsang's hand and pulled her back. Su Qingsang was furious. Hua Jinyao, have you had enough? She had been working the night shift last week and hadn't had a good rest. Su Qingsang was exasperated. Get out of here. Hua Jinyao didn't expect Su Qingsang to be so angry when she woke up. He was momentarily stunned. Su Qingsang ignored him, turned over, and went back to sleep. Hua Jinyao stared at her back for a while, then finally walked out quietly. She fell into a much deeper sleep than before. When she woke up, she felt someone holding her hand. Su Qingsang instinctively wanted to pull her hand back, but she felt something strange in her hand. Chapter 74. She didn't know when a diamond ring had appeared on her hand. Hua Jinyao thought that the ring she had randomly picked out was ugly, so he had thrown it into a corner after the incident. And now he was holding her hand with one hand and slipping the ring on her finger with the other. You're awake. Hua Jinyao looked like he was asking for credit. Su Qingsang blinked and looked at the diamond ring. She couldn't come back to her senses for a moment. The ring looked like it was at least 5 carats, right? The pink diamond was cut into the shape of a heart. The design was simple and elegant, and it shone brightly in the room. Su Qingsang blinked again and asked, Did you buy it? Do you like it? Hua Jinyao asked again. Su Qingsang sat up, raised her hand, and looked at it for a long time. She still couldn't believe it. Did you buy it? Aha. Hua Jinyao's face was full of flattery. How much did it cost? Although she was the illegitimate daughter of the Su family, she wasn't ignorant. Not much. Only a few tens of millions. However, he felt that it was still a little small. It wasn't the right time to say that. How much is not much? Just a few thousand. Hua Jinyao looked at Su Qingsang and suddenly held her hand. You don't think it's real, do you? Isn't it? The quality of this diamond looked so good. Could it be fake? Of course not. Hua Jinyao grinned, showing his white teeth. It's fake. Fake. Hua Jinyao sounded a little guilty when he said that. It only cost a few thousand. A few thousand? Su Qingsang raised her hand and looked at the diamond ring. She couldn't believe that it was only a few thousand. Honey. Hua Jinyao put his arm around her waist. Although it only cost a few thousand, it took me a long time to pick it out. After all, there aren't many rings that are so realistic and beautiful. Indeed. It was so fake that it looked like the real one. No wonder so many people couldn't tell the difference. It's only a few thousand. But it still cost me half a month's salary. Hua Jinyao moved his face closer to hers. Honey, you won't mind that I bought you a fake ring, will you? Why would I? Su Qingsang didn't like jewelry very much. I can't wear this often. I need to go to work. When entering the operating room, he was not allowed to wear any jewelry. I know, but I want you to wear it normally. Only by wearing it all the time could those ignorant people see clearly that she was taken. All right. I got it. As she spoke, Su Qingsang was about to take off the ring, but Hu Jinyao quickly held her hand. What are you doing? Nothing. Su Qingsang looked at him with confusion. I have to do the laundry and tidy up the room later. Take it off first. No need. Hu Jinyao smiled and said, Your hands are so beautiful. How could I let you clean up the room? I've already called the hourly worker. She'll be here soon. Su Qingsang looked at him. She had no problem with hiring part-time workers. When she was busy, she didn't have time to take care of the cleanliness of the house. However, Hu Jinyao's arrangement surprised her. Normally, this guy had just found a job. Even if he didn't lack money, shouldn't he be frugal? But he bought a gift for Qiu Yanba and a diamond ring for her as a gift when he returned home last time. That would make him stop her when she said she wanted to do something. Although he was good to her, why did she feel that something was wrong? All right, you're awake now. Let's go eat. Hu Jinyao reached out to pull her up. Su Qingsang looked at his hands. His slender fingers had distinct joints. They were a pair of very beautiful hands. She looked at Hu Jinyao, who didn't seem to know how to do housework. Thinking about everything that had happened since the first day she met him, Su Qingsang began to feel curious for the first time. Chapter 75. Hu Jinyao noticed Su Qingsang's hesitation after taking 2 steps. He turned to look at her and asked, What's wrong? Su Qingsang shook her head gently and insisted on taking off the ring. Hu Jinyao helped her put it back on again. What's wrong? You don't like it? Su Qingsang looked at Hu Jinyao's face and seemed to be thinking about what to say. I think it's too much. Why did you buy such a big diamond ring? Didn't you think about how ostentatious it is? Whether the ring was real or fake, it was too ostentatious to wear. Hu Jinyao scratched his head and said, Don't you women like the bigger the ring, the better? The brighter the diamond, the better? It was not easy to find such a big pink diamond with such a good color. She didn't like it at all? Who said that? Su Qingsang didn't want to argue with him. I've received your kind intentions. I'd better put this away. It's really not suitable. Hu Jinyao watched Su Qingsang put the ring, which he had specially ordered in Paris for more than 80 million yuan, into the drawer of the dressing table. The corners of his mouth twitched. Honey, okay, let's go eat. Honey, Hu Jinyao grabbed her hand, and the grievance on his face became more obvious. You really don't dislike me for buying a fake one? Su Qingsang's forehead twitched. Forget it. She was crazy to think that this man had another identity. In her eyes, Hu Jinyao was like a big golden retriever. It really isn't. Hu Jinyao still seemed unhappy. Su Qingsang couldn't bear to see him like this, so she glared at him and left the room. After dinner, Hu Jinyao took Su Qingsang out to go shopping. Su Qingsang didn't want to move. You can either go for a walk with me or wear that ring. Hu Jinyao was being shameless. Su Qingsang was so angry that she almost laughed. Who would do that? I told you your ring is too big. It's too ostentatious to wear it. Even if it was fake, it was still very eye-catching, okay? Then come for a walk with me. Hu Jinyao held her hand and said, We've been married for so long, but we haven't taken a walk together yet. The corners of Su Qingsang's mouth twitched, and she reluctantly let Hu Jinyao drag her into the room. Her apartment was quite close to the city center. At this time, the two of them had finished eating and were strolling hand in hand on the road near the neighborhood. Around the left corner was a park, and around the right corner was a large shopping mall. Su Qingsang had moved here for a long time, but she had never walked around the area. Now that Hu Jinyao was holding her hand to go shopping, she was a little interested. Qingsang, this is a nice dress. Go ahead and try it. When the two of them walked past the window of a boutique, Hu Jinyao stopped and pointed at a dress in the shop. No, I have clothes. She was not particular about food and clothing. Try it on. Hu Jinyao pulled her in. I think it will look good on you. Su Qingsang glanced at the logo on the door, then glanced at Hu Jinyao. She couldn't resist his enthusiasm, so she followed him into the room to try on the clothes. It was a black lace dress. Su Qingsang was gentle and beautiful, so she really didn't think such a sexy dress was suitable for her. But Hu Jinyao insisted, so she had to try it on. Hua Jinyao was waiting outside. He stood up when he saw her come out. The black dress was mysterious, and the lace was sexy. The combination of the two made Su Qingsang look completely different from before. "I'll take this one." Hua Jinyao looked at her with admiration. Su Qingsang turned around uncomfortably and looked at Hua Jinyao in the mirror. "Does it really look good?" The dress was too tight, and she was not used to it. "Very good." The shop assistant agreed with Hua Jinyao's words. He took out another dress and handed it to her. "Try this one on too." "I don't think that's necessary." The dress was bright red. Su Qingsang never liked to wear too colorful clothes. "Try it on. It's free anyway." Chapter 76. Noticing that Su Qingsang was looking at him, he shoved the dress into her hands. "I'm going to take a call. Go try it on." He looked a little strange, but Su Qingsang didn't think too much about it. She took the dress and went into the fitting room. When she came out, Hua Jinyao had already gone outside to make a call. She rarely wore bright red, especially when she worked in a hospital. Her gaze landed on a white dress that was tailored elegantly. She reached out her hand to take it. At the same time, her other hand touched the dress. Su Qingsang was stunned. The person was looking at her too. "Su Qingsang?" The disdainful voice was full of disdain. The person standing in front of her was Qiu Yanba's sister, Qiu Junjio. Su Qingsang didn't see Qiu Junjio at the Qiu family's banquet the day before yesterday. She heard that she was abroad. Was she back now? There was another woman standing next to Qiu Junjio. She was quite pretty with delicate makeup. She didn't seem to be interested in the scene in front of her. "Xianyao, what do you think of this dress?" Qiu Junjio wanted to take the dress off, only to find that Su Qingsang's hand was still on it. She glanced at her. "What? Aren't you going to let go?" She wanted to take the dress, but Su Qingsang didn't let go. "Sorry, I saw it first." Su Qingsang. Qiu Junjio snorted. "What? Are you brave now? You dare to go against me? Miss Qiu, be reasonable. I saw this dress first. It was just a dress." She didn't really want it. But she really didn't like Qiu Junjio's tone and attitude. "So what? Can you afford it?" Qiu Junjio thought for a moment and suddenly laughed. "I heard you got married. Which family in Lin City are you from? The Zheng family? The Luo family? Or the Song family or the Chang family?" As a person, he had to be clear about his own status. "What? Do you think you're the crown prince just because you wear the dragon robe?" Su Qingsang had gotten used to the contempt in her words over the years. She had no intention of paying attention. He Xianyao, who was behind Qiu Junjio, asked, "Junjio, who is she?" "Let me introduce you. Isn't my brother engaged to the eldest daughter of the Su family, Su Peijian? She is the illegitimate daughter of the Su family, Su Qingsang." When she mentioned illegitimate daughter, she deliberately raised her voice, as if she was afraid that others would not know. Su Qingsang had heard this kind of ridicule many times before. At this moment, he didn't feel anything when he heard it. "What? Aren't you going to let go?" Qiu Junjio arrogantly asked Su Qingsang to let go of her hand. The shop assistants who were watching this scene did not dare to say a word. Su Qingsang looked at Qiu Junjio for a while and was about to withdraw her hand. Another big hand picked up the dress and put it in Su Qingsang's hand. "Go try on the clothes." Su Qingsang looked at Hua Jinyao. His face was calm, as if he hadn't heard the words, "illegitimate daughter." "Who are you?" Qiu Junjio didn't know Hua Jinyao. She didn't look happy that the clothes she had her eyes on had been snatched away. Hua Jinyao ignored her and turned to look at the shop assistant behind him. "I thought a shop like yours should be very classy. Why do you even let barking dogs in?" Su Qingsang almost choked on her own saliva. Qiu Junjio took a step forward, her chest heaving with anger. "Who are you? Who are you calling a dog?" Chapter 77. Su Qingsang was speechless. She had already seen Hua Jinyao's fighting ability. His mouth was so sharp that she couldn't even handle it sometimes. It felt good to see Qiu Junjio's flustered and exasperated look. She realized that she seemed to have changed. "Go try on the clothes." Hua Jinyao completely ignored the furious Qiu Junjiu. Wrap them up if you like them. Or you. It was the first time Qiu Junjiu had encountered such a situation. She was furious. Or you. What does it have to do with you? What does it have to do with me? You are barking at my wife. What if you scare her? Su Qingsang wanted to laugh again because of the word barking. Looking at Qiu Junjiu's almost twisted face, she hid her smile by lowering her head. If Qiu Junjiu saw her laughing at her, she was afraid that she would be in big trouble. She really didn't want to confront her for the time being. Your wife? Qiu Junjiu didn't think that she couldn't see her laughing at her with her head lowered. Qiu Junjiu heard that Su Qingsang was married, but she didn't expect her to marry such an outstanding man. How could an illegitimate daughter like Su Qingsang find such an outstanding man? He must be a gigolo. Are you her man? Is there a problem? Do you know who she is? He was so handsome, but he wasn't from the upper class of Lin City. If he wasn't a gigolo, who else could he be? Maybe he thought that the Su family was rich and wanted to use Su Qingsang to get close to them. She is just a member of the Su family. Hua Jinyao's expression changed. I know who she is. But you ran out without washing your mouth. Aren't you afraid that the stench will affect others? What did you say? Qiu Junjiu's face was so ugly that it looked like it was about to become ferocious. Hua Jinyao ignored her and turned to look at Su Qingsang. Go try them on if you like them. Try a few more. Su Qingsang glanced at him and leaned close to him. She whispered, quit while you're ahead. She didn't care about the marriage between the Su family and the Qiu family. But she didn't want to be on the opposite side. Hua Jinyao acted as if he didn't hear her. He patted her shoulder and let her enter the fitting room. Then he turned to look at Qiu Junjiu. If your ears are bad, go see a doctor. If your mouth is dirty, go disinfect it. Those in the know would say that you're a human, but those who don't would think that you're a bug. When had Qiu Junjiu ever suffered such humiliation? She was so angry that she took out her phone to make a call. Just as she took out her phone, He Xianyao, who was behind her, suddenly stepped forward. Brother Jinyao? Are you Brother Jinyao? Qiu Junjiu even forgot to make the call. She turned around and looked at He Xianyao. Xianyao, what are you talking about? He Xianyao was a new friend she met during her recent trip abroad. She was from Rong City, and the He family of Rong City was quite influential. This time, she used her brother's birthday as an excuse to invite her over. Although she didn't make it to Qiu Yanba's birthday party, He Xianyao still promised her that she would stay in Lin City for a few days before going back. Qiu Junjiu couldn't understand He Xianyao's expression. She actually knew Su Qingsang's husband? Hua Jinyao glanced at He Xianyao. He looked familiar, but he couldn't recall where he had seen him before. Brother Jinyao, is that really you? He Xianyao had been studying abroad. But before she went abroad, she visited the Hua family several times. Of course, she knew Hua Jinyao. To her, no other man in Rong City was good enough for her. The only person she wanted to marry and be with was Hua Jinyao. Chapter 78. He Xianyao wholeheartedly wanted to marry Hua Jinyao. She had visited the Hua family many times in the past few years. She was beautiful and had a sweet tongue. Mrs. Hua was usually a cold person. She was also quite friendly to her. The He family and the Hua family had business dealings. She had always felt that she was the best match for Hua Jinyao. She was disappointed for a long time when she didn't see Hua Jinyao in Rong City. That was why she agreed to come to Lin City. She didn't expect to meet Hua Jinyao in Rong City, but in Lin City. She didn't dare to recognize him at first. After all, she hadn't seen Hua Jinyao for 2 years. But now that she saw Hua Jinyao's face, how could she not recognize him? Brother Jinyao, I didn't expect to see you here. He Xianyao was not as calm as she was a moment ago. She was just watching from the sidelines. She looked shy like a young girl. Hua Jinyao glanced at her. She looked familiar. He immediately remembered who the woman in front of him was, but he didn't recognize her. Who are you? Brother Jinyao, I'm Xianyao. He Xianyao. Don't you remember? I'm the youngest daughter of the He family. You've worked with my brother before. He Xianyao blushed and looked at Hua Jinyao with her eyes full of charm. If it was another man, he might have been tempted. But Hu Jinyao wasn't an ordinary man. He Xianyao. He knew. She was He Shuangkai's sister, the only daughter of the He family. Don't you remember me? Auntie Hu said that our names were both pronounced Yao. She said we were destined to be together. Although the characters were different, the pronunciation was the same. She had always regarded this as a special fate between her and Hu Jinyao. Hu Jinyao's mouth twitched. There were only a few commonly used Chinese characters. There were more than 1 billion people in the country. How many people had the same name? I don't remember. Hu Jinyao didn't want to talk to He Xianyao anymore. This sudden turn of events left Qiu Junjiu dumbfounded. She didn't know what was going on. Of course, she knew He Xianyao. Her family background was no less than hers. However, such a person treated Hu Jinyao with such an attitude. She looked at Hu Jinyao. Why hadn't she heard that the man Su Qingsang married was very powerful? Didn't you say that you also married a small clerk? How could I not remember? He Xianyao didn't want to give up. It wasn't easy for her to meet Hu Jinyao here. She had to make a deeper impression on him. Seeing that Hu Jinyao was about to leave, she subconsciously wanted to hold his hand. She recalled the conversation between Qiu Junjiu and Hu Jinyao. Jinyao, did you just say that you're married? How could this be? The upper class of Rong City hadn't heard anything about such a big event. He Xianyao thought about Su Qingsang's face. She wasn't particularly pretty. It was just above average. But why does Brother Jinyao want to be with such a woman? I'm married. Hu Jinyao could tell that He Xianyao was interested in him. So what? Why so sudden? The shyness on He Xuanyao's face disappeared. Her pale little face was full of injuries. Is that your wife? Do Uncle Hua and Auntie Hua know? He Xianyao thought about what Qiu Junjiu had said about Su Qingsang's identity. Do they know who she is? Chapter 79. Hu Jinyao's straightforward and impolite attitude made He Xuanyao's face turn pale again. Brother Jinyao. Su Qingsang had already changed her clothes and came out. She stood there, slim and graceful. The black suit suited her very well. It made her look more sexy and less delicate than usual. The white suit in front of her also suited her very well. Su Qingsang's figure was not bad. Although not particularly tall. Her figure was slim and perfectly proportioned. Su Qingsang heard a dispute outside, but she didn't hear it clearly. She saw Hu Jinyao walking towards her and He Xuanyao's pale face. She didn't know what was going on. Very pretty. Hu Jinyao didn't give her a chance to talk to the two weird women. He held her waist and let her look at herself in the mirror. How about I wrap all 3 of them? I don't think that's necessary. The price of these clothes was more than 5 figures. She was just a doctor who had just started working. Why would she need such nice clothes? Just wrap them up if you like them. You. Su Qingsang looked at Hu Jinyao and then at the environment in front of her. She didn't want to hurt him, so she tiptoed and whispered into Hu Jinyao's ear, "Didn't you just start working? Just buy them for a year." Her voice was very soft, and her hot breath brushed against Hu Jinyao's ear. He was a little tempted. He almost couldn't hear what Su Qingsang said. When he realized what she meant, he didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He put his arm around Su Qingsang's waist and whispered into her ear, "I went on a business trip a few days ago. The deal was good. The boss agreed to give me a bonus. Well, you can buy them if you like them. It's okay." Su Qingsang turned to look at him. The flattery in Hu Jinyao's eyes was too obvious. For a moment, she felt as if she had been entangled by a golden retriever. Save for a rainy day. Be thrifty. Don't you know? As soon as he got his bonus, he spent it all. She was buying a ring and clothes. What if she needed money in the future? I know. I have you. Hu Jinyao whispered into her ear, "The money I earn is for my wife to spend. I'll be happy to spend it all." His warm breath brushed against her ear. Su Qingsang remembered how he had talked to her like this last night when he had done it with her. She felt uncomfortable and took a step back. I'll go change my clothes." Hu Jinyao had a smile in his eyes. Su Qingsang was good at everything, but she was too thin-skinned. It didn't matter. He would do it a few more times next time. When she got used to it, she would get used to it. He Xuanyao's eyes turned red when she saw how close they were. Brother Jinyao. When Su Qingsang entered the fitting room, she heard the voice and turned around. She had heard it just now, but she thought she had heard it wrong through the door. Hua Jinyao's face darkened. He turned to look at He Xianyao. Who are you calling? Brother Jinyao, how can you do this to me? She had liked him for so many years and waited for him for so many years. Was this how he treated her? Jinyao? Su Qingsang didn't go to get changed. Instead, she stood in front of Hua Jinyao and asked, Do you know each other? How could Qiu Junjio's friend know Hua Jinyao? Hua Jinyao looked calm and looked at He Xianyao as if she was a stranger. I don't know you. And, please call me Mr. Hua. Brother Jinyao? He Xianyao looked hurt. What are you talking about? Jinyao? It didn't seem like she didn't know him. Su Qingsang looked at Hua Jinyao and then at He Xianyao. Chapter 80. Hua Jinyao turned around and looked at Su Qingsang. The smile returned to his face. Nothing, she mistook me for someone else. Brother Jinyao. How could she mistake him for someone else? He Xianyao took a step forward, as if to prove that she was telling the truth. Hua Jinyao tilted his head and glanced at her. His eyes were cold and devoid of warmth. It only took him a second to change his smiling face into a cold one. Miss, please don't call me that. I said I don't know you. You, Xianyao? Qiu Junjio seemed to understand what was going on. Please leave. Your behavior has interfered with my business, Hua Jinyao said bluntly. He Xianyao didn't expect that after studying for 2 years, she would end up like this. Her eyes were red. She burst into tears, turned around, and ran out. Xianyao, Qiu Junjio glanced at Hua Jinyao and Su Qingsang and hurried out. Su Qingsang was left looking at Hua Jinyao inquiringly. You really don't know her? Of course I don't know her. But they work together. Well, they didn't really know each other. Why did she call your name if she doesn't know you? Does she know that your name is Jinyao? She mistook me for someone else. Why are you calling me so intimately? Big brother Jinyao? She felt goosebumps all over her body. Hua Jinyao looked at her and suddenly put his face close to hers. What? Is Qingsang jealous? I'm not. Who would be jealous of him? I'm not jealous. Why do you smell so sour? Hua Jinyao was back to his usual carefree self. His low voice was a little playful. The smile in his eyes was so obvious, and there was a hint of teasing in them. Su Qingsang couldn't help but step back. She couldn't stand the teasing and curious eyes of the surrounding shop assistants. I'm going to change. She quickly went into the fitting room, only to find that she seemed to have been tricked by Hua Jinyao again. He still didn't tell her why the woman knew him and called him Brother Jinyao. When Su Qingsang came out, Hua Jinyao had asked someone to wrap up the clothes she had just tried on. She was really not used to this. Even when she was shopping with Shi Mengwan, she wasn't this crazy. Moreover, her concept of consumption was similar to Shi Mengwan's. She didn't care about famous brands, she only wanted comfort. However, Hua Jinyao was quite interested. After shopping for clothes, he wanted to go shopping for shoes. Su Qingsang stayed in the hospital every day and only liked to wear flat shoes. There were some high-heeled shoes, but not many. Seeing that Hua Jinyao was so interested in shopping with her, she had a feeling that she would be a wet blanket if she didn't go with him. Su Qingsang had forgotten about her encounter with He Xianyao. That little doubt was naturally suppressed in his heart. By the time Qiu Junjio reached home, the rest of the Qiu family had already gone to bed. Qiu Yanba had just returned from outside. Qiu Junjio's eyes lit up when she saw him. Brother, did you go out with Sister Peijian? Qiu Yanba nodded. Su Peijian was his fiancée. Naturally, he had to spend more time with her. Brother, do you know who Su Qingsang's husband is? Su Qingsang? Qiu Yanba thought about the day he saw Su Qingsang in Hua Jinyao's arms, cuddling up to him shyly. He couldn't tell what he was feeling, so he answered absent-mindedly, What's wrong? Isn't he just a small clerk? A small clerk? Are you sure? Qiu Junjio thought about He Xuanyao's reaction that night. Chapter 81. Qiu Junjiu told him what had happened that night. She looked at Qiu Yanba's increasingly serious face and said, "Brother, do you think Su Qingsang did it on purpose? Did she deliberately not let others know who her man was? She thought it was impossible. If Hua Jinyao's identity was really extraordinary, why would he like Su Qingsang? Di Xianyao was much better than Su Qingsang. Whether it was her family background, appearance, or anything else." Qiu Yanba ignored his sister's words. He thought of Old Master Qiu and Old Master Li's repeated questions. Di Xianyao was from Rong City, and Hua Jinyao said he had nothing to do with the Hua family. If Hua Jinyao was really from the Hua family, then why did he suddenly appear in Lin City? "Brother." Qiu Junjiu said something else, but Qiu Yanba didn't have time to listen. He looked at Qiu Junjiu and said, "Junjiu, listen to me. Stay away from Su Qingsang next time." But Qiu Junjiu didn't like hearing that. She and Su Peijian were good friends. Although Su Peijian had never said anything to hurt Su Qingsang, having such a thing in the house was so annoying. "Nothing. Anyway, you don't have to worry about it." After saying that, Qiu Yanba hurried out the door. When Su Qingsang opened her eyes, her waist was still a little sore. She turned over and saw Hua Jinyao's enlarged face. It had been a few days, but she was still not used to it. She had to go to work today. Yesterday, she had repeatedly asked Hua Jinyao not to touch her. In the end, this guy was shameless and said he only wanted to do it once. But was his time a normal time? "Morning, wife." Hua Jinyao got up very early. He had already come back from his morning exercise. He had just taken a shower and felt refreshed. He could still smell the shower gel. Su Qingsang ignored him. Her waist was still sore and her body didn't feel well. Hadn't this guy touched a woman in 800 years? "Wife." Hua Jinyao didn't care about her cold face at all. There was another smack on her cheek. "Why didn't you say good morning to me?" Su Qingsang's eyebrows twitched. She had begun to ignore the fact that he tended to be a large dog from time to time. "Wife." Seeing that she was about to get up, Hua Jinyao quickly pressed his body against hers to prevent her from moving. "You haven't said good morning to me yet." "Good morning. Can you get up now?" Su Qingsang's voice was a little hoarse, which made Hua Jinyao feel inexplicably sexy. He shamelessly put all his limbs on her. "You haven't given me a good morning kiss yet." Su Qingsang couldn't take it anymore. Before she lost control of her anger, she pushed the man in front of her away and got up. "Wife?" Behind her, Hua Jinyao looked at her with great sadness. "Shut up." Su Qingsang glared at him, not forgetting to wrap herself in the sheet. Hua Jinyao rubbed his chin and enjoyed the look of anger on Su Qingsang's face. "Honey, you don't actually have to cover it up. I've seen every part of you before." "Shut up," he added. "My wife is so beautiful. Even when you're angry, you're still so beautiful." Her eyes were filled with life, and she looked exceptionally spirited. Hua Jinyao, Su Qingsang couldn't help but glare at him again, but her face was red. The burning heat lasted until she entered the bathroom. Don't mind it. This man was just like that. He was glib-tongued and glib. She didn't want to take it seriously. Looking at herself in the mirror, Su Qingsang was stunned by the figure in it. Chapter 82. Hua Jinyao sensed that something was wrong with Su Qingsang. After coming out of the bathroom, she kept her head down, as if she was thinking about something. "What's wrong, honey?" Hua Jinyao stepped forward and put his arm around Su Qingsang's waist. As soon as he approached, Su Qingsang thought of the entanglement between them these past few days. She moved to the side without a trace. "Nothing." "Are you unhappy?" "He didn't do anything to her just now, did he?" Hua Jinyao reached out to put his arm around her shoulder again. "I'm late for work." Su Qingsang pushed his hand away. Her obvious resistance stunned Hua Jinyao for a moment. But only for a moment. "Honey, are you angry?" "No." "You're still denying it." Hua Jinyao stood in front of her. "You are angry." "Hua Jinyao." Su Qingsang didn't realize until this morning that she seemed to be indulging Hua Jinyao more and more. She began to get used to his existence. Apart from being surprised by the changes in her body, She was also a little frightened. She was used to staying in a fixed circle and living safely in this circle. But now, Hua Jinyao had become the biggest variable. He made her feel unsafe. "Honey, tell me, why are you unhappy?" Hua Jinyao reached out to hug her again. Su Qingsang wouldn't let him. "I'm really not unhappy." She took a step back and looked at Hua Jinyao. "I'm late for work." She walked past Hua Jinyao, but he stood in front of her again. "You haven't had breakfast yet." Su Qingsang turned to look at the table. There were all kinds of breakfast Hua Jinyao bought. These days, whenever he was at home, he bought breakfast. Su Qingsang pressed her lips into a straight line. In the end, she couldn't refuse Hua Jinyao's kindness. Not only did she eat the breakfast he bought, but she also asked him to drive her to work like before. She sat in the car and looked out of the window in silence. The fast traffic made her feel a little uneasy. How was she going to face Hua Jinyao? This husband who appeared out of nowhere? When they arrived at the hospital, Su Qingsang almost couldn't wait to get out of the car, but Hua Jinyao held her hand again. "Honey, you seem to have forgotten something." Hua Jinyao. She knew what it was, but today she couldn't. Hua Jinyao gave her a heavy kiss on the cheek. "Goodbye kiss." Hua Jinyao smiled like a cat who had successfully stolen a fish. "Hua Jinyao." Su Qingsang looked around, afraid that her colleagues would see her. He didn't seem to mind at all. Instead, he moved his face closer and said, "I want one too." "That's enough. My wife is so stingy." Hua Jinyao looked at her with a sad look, as if he had been wronged. Before she could react, he leaned over and gave her another kiss on the other cheek. "All right, you're stingy. I'm very generous." Hua Jinyao waved his hand and grinned, showing his white teeth. "Remember to miss me." This person, seeing him like that, Su Qingsang was not angry at all. She could only glare at him and quickly get out of the car. She didn't know if Hua Jinyao's words had an effect. Hua Jinyao's face flashed across her mind from time to time. Ignoring the slight fluctuation in her heart, she professionally put away the fetal heart instrument and looked at the pregnant woman in front of her. "For now, everything seems normal. I've already told you what to pay attention to last time. It's just that you're getting older, so it's better to exercise properly." "Thank you, Dr. Su." After hearing the precautions, the pregnant woman thanked her profusely and left. Su Qingsang called out, "Next." Chapter 83. Su Yusen was only 17 years old this year. Li Qianxue and Su Qinghui had him when Su Peizhen was 8 years old. He was in his first year of high school and went to Lin City's first middle school. Because it was a little far from home, he had been living on campus. Su Qingsang occasionally went back to the Su family but couldn't meet Su Yusen. The two of them were sister and brother, but they had few opportunities to see each other. She really didn't know why Su Yusen was looking for her. "Sister." What made Su Qingsang's eyes pop out? Su Yusen actually called her sister. "What's the matter?" Su Qingsang looked at her nominal brother. She was in the obstetrics and gynecology department. Why did he come here for no reason? Su Yusen lowered his head. His face, which was somewhat similar to Li Qianshue's, was not delicate. Instead, he was very handsome. He was only 17 years old, but he was already 1.8 meters tall. At this moment, he lowered his head with a guilty look on his face. What happened? Su Qingsang knew the ability of the Su family and the strength of the Li family. There was nothing that Su Yusen couldn't tell his parents. "You didn't get into trouble, did you?" It was very strange to say. Su Yusen was Su Qinghui's only son. He was quite strict with this son. The most favored person in the Su family was Su Peizhen. Su Peizhen grew up. No matter what she did, Su Qinghui couldn't bear to touch her, let alone teach her a lesson. But Su Qinghui had been watching him very closely since he was a child. Whether it was homework or other things, he was very demanding. Su Yusen didn't know how to say it twice. He gritted his teeth, turned around, and pulled in a figure outside the door. It was a little girl who looked like she was only 16 or 17 years old. "She's my girlfriend. She's pregnant." Su Qingsang almost choked on her own saliva. "What did you say?" "She's pregnant." Su Yusin's face was very red, and the little girl's face was a little pale. Aren't you a doctor? Help her abort the child. Su Qingsang stood up and closed the door with her hand. Su Yusin, are you crazy? I'm not crazy. Su Yusin gritted his teeth. I'm only 17 years old. You're only 17. If you don't want to be a father so early, why did you get her pregnant so early? Su Qingsang was furious. Do you know how harmful it is to your health to have an abortion? She swallowed the rest of her words when she saw the little girl's pale face. Su Qingsang took a deep breath to calm herself down. Does Dad know? How is this possible? If he knew, he would beat me to death. She knew very well how strict Su Qinghui was with him. Su Qingsang was furious. She looked at the little girl and said, Do you want to beat the child too? The girl was quite pretty. She kept her head down and only answered in a very low voice after hearing Su Qingsang's words. I'm still in school. Su Qingsang didn't know what to say. She looked at the people in front of her and felt that they had completely subverted her understanding. The two of them were still children, not even adults. But, sister, if you help me this time, I'll owe you one. Su Yusin was normal now, but Su Qingsang only felt upset. The Su family's parents didn't know, but what about the girl's parents? Do your parents know? Chapter 84. Su Qingsang looked at the two young men in front of her and sighed helplessly. Have you thought it through? It's a life we're talking about. I have. The two of them spoke in unison, so Su Qingsang could only agree. There was an empty operating theater today. She sat back in her seat to write the bill. Take her for a checkup and pay the fee. You have money on you, don't you? Yes. I do. Su Yusin nodded, took the list and looked at Su Qingsang. For the first time, he showed a sincere smile to this sister who had never been friendly to him. Sister. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. She looked at the little girl. You're still young. After the operation, you should stay in the hospital for a few days to rest. I have to go to school. I'll write a leave slip for you. Take it and apply for leave. If she didn't take good care of her body, it would be difficult for her to have children in the future. You don't want that either, do you? The little girl stopped talking. Su Qingsang sighed and asked someone to arrange the operating room. The little girl followed Su Yusin out. Su Qingsang felt a headache when she got up to get ready. Amidst the headache, her body suddenly froze in place. She had been with Hua Jinyao for the past few days, but he didn't seem to have taken any protective measures. And these few days were her safe period, but what about in the future? Was she ready to be a mother so early? Was she ready to have a child so early? No, she should ask herself. Does she have the confidence to take on the responsibility of a mother? Bringing a life into this world just like that? Su Qingsang's lips were pursed into a straight line, and the struggle lasted no more than a few seconds. She prescribed herself a long-acting contraceptive. Su Qingsang didn't know the girl's name until the operation was over. Bai Jihan. What a nice name. Su Qingsang prescribed her medicine and arranged a ward for her. Then he gave her a leave slip. Help her ask for leave. About a week, the least. She turned her face to look at Bai Jihan. Have a good rest. Don't worry, I'll ask the nurse to come here more often. You can call me if you have any questions. Thank you, sister. You're welcome. Su Qingsang walked out of the ward, followed by Su Yusin. He used to dislike Su Qingsang and didn't like her. After all, no one would like their father to have an illegitimate daughter. Standing in front of Su Qingsang, she was a little shy, as if she didn't know what to do. Sister, is there anything else? Su Qingsang seemed to remember something. All right, you should be in school now, right? Are you going back to school today? Su Yusin was a little embarrassed. Help me get a sick leave certificate too. I want to stay here and take care of her all day tomorrow. The look in Su Qingsang's eyes changed a little. She didn't expect her brother to be so responsible. Is one day enough? Also, don't tell Dad about this. Don't worry. I know. Su Qingsang had originally planned to leave, but she couldn't help but say, Yusin, I know you've grown up. There are some things that you should also know. I don't object to you falling in love or finding a girlfriend. But he still remembered to protect the girl next time. After all, whether it's abortion or childbirth, it's not something you should experience at your age. Su Yusun's face was full of embarrassment, but in the end, he did not refute. I understand. I'll pay attention next time. Go! Su Qingsang was busy, and it was almost time to get off work. Before leaving, she went to the ward again, and Bai Jihan was already asleep. Su Yusun was watching over her. Su Qingsang asked someone to send them lunchboxes, and asked the restaurant to send a cup of health soup. She told Su Yusun to let Bai Jihan drink it, and then left. As soon as she left the hospital, she saw Hu Jinyao coming to pick her up. Chapter 85. Su Qingsang didn't know why, but she inexplicably felt a little guilty. She didn't know why she felt guilty. She wasn't sure if Hu Jinyao would agree with her decision. Her decision was unilateral, and she didn't tell Hu Jinyao. But the fact was that Hu Jinyao also had the right to know and participate. He was her husband, and he also had the right to decide whether to have children, not her unilateral contraception. She didn't want to have children. But the fact was that she really didn't want to have children. She could accept marrying a man. But to bring a life into this world, honey. Hu Jinyao had already gotten out of the car and very considerately opened the door for her. Sometimes, Su Qingsang really didn't understand where Hu Jinyao's enthusiasm came from. Honey, what's wrong? Hu Jinyao stepped forward to put his arms around her waist, and Su Qingsang quickly took a step back. There were people coming and going in the hospital, and she really didn't want to be the center of attention. Are you not feeling well? Hu Jinyao put his hand on Su Qingsang's forehead and didn't find anything unusual. Are you too tired at work? His enthusiasm made Su Qingsang uncomfortable. She was used to being cold-hearted, but she couldn't stand Hu Jinyao's enthusiasm. I'm a little tired. She had performed Bai Jihan's surgery herself. She could guarantee that the process was smooth. But she felt a little sad. A little life, which should have been the life of her nephew or niece, ended in her hands. Hu Jinyao was extremely sensitive to the fact that Su Qingsang's mood at this time was not high, completely different from the low mood in the morning. In the morning, she was not in a good mood. She looked more helpless and evasive. But now she was tired, really tired. What happened? Nothing. Su Qingsang refused to answer this question and turned to get into the car. Hu Jinyao didn't ask further and calmly followed her into the car. Honey, what are we eating tonight? At first, Su Qingsang found it weird that Hu Jinyao kept calling her wife, but now, she was used to it. He could call her whatever he wanted. It was just a form of address anyway. Whatever. Whatever. Hu Jinyao leaned over with obvious dissatisfaction on his face. Can't you just be casual? What can I do if you are always casual? Then we'll go wherever you want to eat. Su Qingsang was not particular about food. Before she officially started working, she once went to a remote area as a support doctor for an intern. The environment there was even worse and more bitter. And this was only in China. Some medical teams that went overseas not only had a poor environment, but they were also not used to the food and accommodation. It's easier to lose your life. The more she saw, the lower her expectations of life. Let's go eat Japanese food, okay? No. Su Qingsang instinctively didn't like it. What about Korean cuisine? Thai cuisine? Can't you think of someone from China? Hu Jinyao could tell that Su Qingsang didn't like foreign food. She only liked Chinese food. Then let's eat Hunan cuisine. I've looked around. There's a Hunan restaurant that just opened. You can even get a discount, all right? Su Qingsang didn't refuse. She was actually a little dizzy from such a conversation. Hu Jinyao, you don't have to ask me next time. Just tell me what you like to eat. I'm fine with anything. How can I do that? Hu Jinyao's face was serious. He stopped starting the car and said, You are my wife. Of course, I have to focus on your needs first. I have to like what you like too. Chapter 86. Su Qingsang didn't know what to say, but she couldn't bring herself to hate Hu Jinyao's glib tongue. She could only blame this man for having such a good appearance. Handsome people seem to be forgiven for anything they did. Not to mention the fact that he was looking at her so intently and confessing to her. Su Qingsang's heart skipped a beat. She had to turn around and look out of the window. As for Hu Jinyao, she wanted to ignore him for some reason. He Xianyao didn't stay in Lin City for a day. After being criticized by Hu Jinyao, she was annoyed and booked the fastest flight back to Rong City. Yao Yao. He Xiankai came back from a party with friends that night and saw He Xianyao dragging her luggage home. Didn't you go to Lin City with your friends? Why are you back so soon? Brother. He Xianyao had been suppressing her emotions along the way, but now it was obvious that she could no longer suppress them. What's wrong? Yao Yao? Brother. He Xianyao threw herself into He Shuangkai's arms and burst into tears. What's wrong? Who bullied you? His sister was 7 or 8 years younger than him. He had been the one to take care of his sister when they were little, so they had a special relationship. He Xianyao tried to control her voice. Brother Jinyao Hua Jinyao? He Xiankai frowned. If he remembered correctly, the Hua family member wasn't in Rong City recently. It's him. He Xianyao sobbed and looked at her brother with tears in her eyes. Brother, how could I be wrong? It's him. Why did he pretend not to know me? He Xiankai didn't know what was going on. Could it be that he was busy at the time? Busy? There was a woman with him. I think they got married. Married? That was impossible. He Shuangkai's intuition told him it was fake. The Hua family is so important. How could there be no news of Hu Jinyao getting married in Rong City? It's true. He Xianyao was angry at the thought. He really got married. I asked Qiu Junjiu. She said Hu Jinyao's wife is an illegitimate daughter. Everyone in Lin City with a bit of prestige knows about it. He Xiankai rubbed his chin and thought about what his sister had said. Illegitimate daughter? This was interesting. Is the Hua family married to Hu Jinyao? Did they know that Hu Jinyao married an illegitimate daughter? Brother. Uncle Hua and Auntie Hu didn't know about this at all. His engagement didn't count at all. I like Brother Jinyao. I want to snatch him away. Xianyao. What are you talking about? She's already married, and you still want to snatch her back? This younger sister of his was getting more and more willful. I want it. He Xianyao was still angry. That woman's family background and appearance are not good enough for Brother Jinyao. I don't believe the Hua family will agree. Auntie Hua valued disciples the most, not to mention that old Master Hua was in the Hua family. They would never agree to Hu Jinyao marrying a woman who didn't belong to his family. Don't worry. Let me think. He Xiankai wasn't an impulsive person. Are you sure the Hua family doesn't know about this? Of course. Otherwise, you can ask around tomorrow. See if the Hua family knows about this. He Xiankai didn't say anything. There were some things that could be verified. Hu Jinyao turned over on the bed and looked in the direction of the bathroom. Su Qingsang went in to take a shower and didn't come out for a long time. Listening to the noise in the bathroom, Hu Jinyao felt an itch in his heart. He couldn't help but want to go in and find out. Chapter 87. As soon as he finished speaking, the bathroom door opened. Su Qingsang came out wearing blue cotton pajamas. The style was very conservative. Hu Jinyao looked at her sideways. It seemed that only then did he realize that Su Qingsang's pajamas were all cotton. And they were basically the kind with long sleeves that tightly wrapped her body. Wasn't she hot? Or was it to guard against him? Whatever. He decided to buy some pajamas tomorrow. He would change out of Su Qingsang's conservative pajamas. Honey. As soon as Su Qingsang's body touched the bed, Hu Jinyao leaned over and held her waist. Stop it. Su Qingsang waved his hand away and looked a little unhappy. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep too. Let's sleep together. Hu Jinyao smiled maliciously. If Su Qingsang still didn't understand what he wanted to do, she would have wasted her time getting along with him. Stop it. Not today. Why? Hu Jinyao's face suddenly fell. It's not convenient for me. Seeing Hu Jinyao's puzzled face, Su Qingsang was a little speechless. My relatives are here. Relatives? What relatives? Hua Jinyao finally realized what was going on. He quickly turned around and spread himself on the bed. He looked like he had nothing to live for. Su Qingsang's usually cold heart wanted to laugh because of Hua Jinyao's expression. Her period had always been punctual. This time, it was 2 days early. She didn't know if it was because of the medicine. However, Su Qingsang really breathed a sigh of relief. Although it was a safe period before, she was really afraid that she would accidentally fall into the trap. She didn't want any accidents at this time. Honey, Hua Jinyao was really depressed. It wasn't easy for him to eat meat. He hadn't eaten this meat a few times, and he couldn't eat it anymore. Stop it. I'm really sleepy. Su Qingsang thought that she could escape today, but she didn't expect that Hua Jinyao would still carry her. What are you doing? Already, said I. Honey, what are you thinking? I'm just hugging you to sleep. Hua Jinyao felt a little wronged. We're already married. Isn't it normal for me to hug you to sleep? Su Qingsang realized that she was making a fuss. Hua Jinyao tightened his grip on her waist. My wife, my good wife, you're not my wife. I like to hug you to sleep. The corners of Su Qingsang's mouth twitched. She knew what was wrong with him, so she simply closed her eyes and ignored him. Hua Jinyao's soft body was in his arms, but he couldn't touch it. This made him even more depressed. How many days? He had to confirm his sentence first. Su Qingsang was about to fall asleep, so she didn't react for a moment. What do you mean by a few days? Your relative. Hua Jinyao's voice was deep, and he seemed to be gnashing his teeth. How many days does it usually take? The lights had been turned off. In the dark, Su Qingsang imagined Hua Jinyao's expression at that moment and somehow felt a little happy. Usually 6 days, sometimes longer. Actually, she would have finished in 4 days, but she deliberately said 2 more days. In the darkness, she heard Hua Jinyao's muffled groan. She tried not to laugh. All right, I'm going to bed. Stop bothering me. Hua Jinyao listened to her breathing, which became steady after a while, and felt a little upset. An evil relative. Why would a woman have such a relative? Chapter 88. What about the Hua family? Do they know that Hua Jinyao is married? A grown girl couldn't be kept at home. He Xiankai sighed. If I said I didn't ask about it, you would be mad at me. Brother. He Xianyao was unhappy and shook He Shuangkai's arm. Just tell me. Does the Hua family know? The Hua family, brother? Seeing his sister so anxious, He Xiankai didn't keep her in suspense. I asked. The Hua family really doesn't know about Hua Jinyao's marriage. They were all from the upper-class business circle of Rome City, so it wasn't difficult for He Xiankai to find out. Not only do they not know, but the Hua family probably doesn't know what Hua Jinyao is doing outside. Then what is he doing? In fact, He Xianyao didn't understand. Hua Jinyao couldn't even handle things in Rome City, so why did he go to Lin City? Hua Jinyao said he was developing his business in Lin City. But I don't think it's that simple. The Hua family was in a complicated situation. Hua Jinyao didn't line up because he wanted to avoid it. But why would Hua Jinyao's parents agree to let him go to Lin City? It was strange. Brother, don't talk about useless things. Just tell me how I can get Hua Jinyao back. That was the point. He Xiankai looked at his sister and sighed helplessly. I have an idea, but you have to promise me. Don't do anything stupid and listen to me. Okay. He Xianyao was willing to do anything as long as she could get Hua Jinyao. About this, hearing He Shuangkai's voice, He Xuanyao's eyes finally began to light up. There was a bright smile in her bright eyes. She was determined to get Hua Jinyao. The head nurse, Shin Pinglan, noticed that Su Qingsang seemed to be in a good mood today. She walked in with a smile on her face. Dr. Su, what's wrong? Something good happened? Su Qingsang shook her head. Nothing good. Why are you smiling so happily? Su Qingsang only thought of Hua Jinyao this morning. Men usually got excited in the morning, but it wasn't convenient for her now. She still remembered that last night, she accidentally turned around in Hua Jinyao's arms. In the end, that guy actually had a reaction. She really couldn't take it anymore and wanted to sleep in the guest room. He won't let me. On the other side, he ran to take a cold shower and refused to let go of her. In the end, Hu Jingyao took no less than 3 cold showers that night. Su Qingsang felt helpless. She was very sure that she hadn't done anything. Have you had many girlfriends before? Although young people were hot-blooded, it was still better for them to control themselves, right? Nope. I only have you. Hu Jingyao hurriedly explained. If he didn't make it clear, people would misunderstand. Then how did you survive the last 30 years? Su Qingsang couldn't help but want to argue with him. I didn't have you before. Hu Jingyao put his arms around her waist and smiled obsequiously. I have you now. Besides, they had already eaten a sumptuous meal, and now they were asking him to eat vegetables. Wasn't this too inhumane? Su Qingsang didn't know what to say. This person was really, she said that they should sleep separately, but she refused. Men tend to get excited easily this morning. Chapter 89. Su Qingsang wanted to tell him to take less cold water. However, she accidentally used too much force when she pulled him. He turned over and fell asleep on her. Fortunately, his hand was placed on her chest. Honey, what did she mean? Su Qingsang really didn't know what to say when she met his accusatory gaze. She tried to reach out and push him. Get up. I didn't mean to. Honey, Hu Jingyao looked sad. Stop it. Su Qingsang quickly wanted to get up, but she didn't know that she got up too quickly. She bumped into Hu Jingyao again. What followed was chaos. Su Qingsang didn't want to recall the process now. She only felt that Hu Jingyao's sad face made her laugh. And he was still looking at her with that kind of gaze until he sent her to the hospital. Now she met the curiosity in Shen Pinglan's eyes and smiled. The pregnant woman in bed 18 has been discharged. She recovered very well. She met me downstairs just now and thanked me. That's because Dr. Su is very responsible to the pregnant woman and the patient. They think you are good. It's my duty. Su Qingsang nodded and stopped thinking about Hu Jingyao. She put on a white coat and went to see Bai Jihan. Bai Jihan was recovering well and was much more energetic than before. She was the only one left when she saw her. Well, where's Su Yusin? He went back to class, Bai Jihan said in a very low voice. She had just had an abortion and was still a little weak. Only then did Su Qingsang remember that Su Yusin was still a high school student. She sighed in her heart, told some things to pay attention to, and then left. In the evening, Shi Mengwan came to see her again before it was time to get off work. Qingsang. Shi Mengwan looked at Su Qingsang from head to toe and clicked her tongue. Not bad. It seems that marriage has a great impact on you. Look at your rosy face. What are you talking about? My face has always been like this, okay? Su Qingsang was in good health. She was a doctor and naturally knew the importance of health better than ordinary people. Shi Mengwan chuckled. Are you sure? You look like a completely different person from before you got married. Don't deny it. Okay. You haven't said what it is. She really didn't want to bring the topic back to how she got married. I want to have a meal with you. It's almost National Day. At that time, more and more people would get married. I'm afraid I won't have time to visit you. Isn't that perfect? You can earn a little more. Of course. Shi Mengwan seemed to have thought of something as she said, Oh right. I remember what happened. What? I saw your brother just now. Shi Mengwan touched her shoulder. Why is he here? Doesn't he go to school? Also, did he come here for you? He's not looking for trouble with you, is he? What's going on in your head? Even though neither Su Peijian nor Su Yusin liked her. But they wouldn't go so far as to lower themselves to make things difficult for her. Shi Mengwan was not an outsider, and she was very tight-lipped. Su Qingsang briefly told her about Su Yusin. That's it. I thought he wouldn't come today. I didn't expect him to sneak back here again. He wondered if the school and his family knew about this. Qingsang, think about it. This is really a big deal. Chapter 90. Mengwan. She was getting more and more ridiculous. Why would she grab hold of Su Yusin's weakness for no reason? Besides, if this matter really got out, Bai Jihan wouldn't be able to get any benefits. She's just a little girl, why? I'm joking. She knew that Su Qingsang would never do such a thing. I just feel that it's a pity. Mengwan. She knew that Shi Mengwan was crying out for her. But Su Yusin was too young. Who hasn't been young and frivolous? What's more, even though he had done something wrong, at least he didn't throw a sum of money to Bai Jihan and then ignore her like other people in the circle. She had seen many such incidents in the industry. Seriously speaking, Su Yusin was a responsible person. Alright, I won't say any more. Let's go eat. Shi Mengwan dragged her outside. The two of them walked out of the hospital gate and were about to walk to the side when Shi Mengwan stopped again. What happened? Shi Mengwan's gaze fell on the man and woman beside her. That man was the one she met last time. At this moment he had a woman with him. He was carefully supporting the woman as they walked out of the hospital. Mengwan? Su Qingsang also saw that person. Shi Mengwan gritted her teeth. When she looked at Su Qingsang again, the corners of her mouth twitched. She knew that she didn't mean what she said. It's okay. Let's go. He kept saying that she had the wrong person. But how could she be mistaken? She had spent so much time with her dear brother. She had always thought that her dear brother had forgotten about her for some special reason, but now she knew that he already had another woman by his side. Let me treat you to dinner. Su Qingsang couldn't bear to see her friend like this. What? I make more money than you do. My treat. Shi Mengwan returned to her carefree self. Besides, that person is definitely not my dear brother. I think I got the wrong person last time. Su Qingsang couldn't find any words to comfort her. I believe your big brother won't forget you. And he must be waiting for you somewhere. Don't give up. Yes. Don't worry. I won't give up. Shi Mengwan smiled brightly. Everyone knew that the person she was waiting for would not appear. Only Qingsang was the best. She always comforted and encouraged her. Qingsang, you're so nice. But why did you get married? Can't you just marry me? Yes. I'll marry you. What about your big brother? While the two of them were talking, the tall man who had been supporting the woman outside seemed to have sensed something and glanced over. However, neither Shi Mengwan nor Su Qingsang noticed it. Honey. When Hu Jinyao came to pick her up, Su Qingsang was not surprised to see an extremely sad face. She felt that the word grievance could not be more appropriate. At that moment, in her eyes, Hu Jinyao was no different from a golden retriever that had been neglected by its owner. You actually abandoned me again and ran off to eat by yourself. Su Qingsang frowned helplessly. What made her even more helpless was that she actually felt a little guilty because of Hu Jinyao's accusation. Sorry, I forgot to tell you. You're always like this. Hu Jinyao was quite displeased. When will you remember that we're already married? I am your husband. Su Qingsang's lips moved, but she had nothing to say. She really did forget. Especially every time Shi Mengwan came to see her. Who did you have dinner with? When Hu Jinyao came to pick her up, she was alone. Chapter 91. Hu Jinyao. Su Qingsang didn't like his tone. She was married to him, but she still had her own independent personality. Honey, Hu Jinyao, don't be like this. Su Qingsang wanted to say something, but she found that there were other people passing by. She looked at him helplessly and got into the car first. Hu Jinyao followed her and got into the car. Honey, let's go home first. We'll talk when we get home. It was not a good place to talk. The restaurant was not far from Su Qingsang's apartment. Half an hour later, the two of them were already in their own little house. Su Qingsang went into the kitchen and poured a glass of water for herself and Hu Jinyao. She came out and put it in front of him before sitting down opposite him. Hu Jinyao. Honey, go ahead. Hu Jinyao sat up straight and looked like he was listening attentively. Su Qingsang couldn't vent her anger. Hu Jinyao's shameless behavior gave her a headache. You know what? We're married, but I still want to keep some of myself. Honey, let me finish first. Su Qingsang had been feeling this way for a while. Hu Jinyao entered her life too quickly and too hastily. She wasn't prepared at all. The two of them got married directly and then came to the last step. She wasn't used to such a sudden intimate relationship. Hua Jinyao, I know you're a good person. He agreed to help her under such circumstances and had been very good to her during this period of time. But I feel that our relationship is moving too fast. I hope we can. Too fast? Hua Jinyao interrupted her. Why do I feel that it's too slow? You, think about it. We're both married. You see, in fairy tales, after the prince and the princess get married, that's the ending of the story. We rushed to the ending as soon as we came. We skipped the middle step. Shouldn't we hurry up and make up for the middle step? Su Qingsang was speechless and looked at him blankly. So we should seize all the time we have to spend together and fall in love. That's scientific. Hua Jinyao's matter-of-fact attitude made Su Qingsang completely speechless. That's not what I mean. I got it. Hua Jinyao's expression changed. He looked aggrieved again. Are you disgusted by my attitude just now? I'm not disgusted. I'm just a little unhappy. I really didn't mean to criticize you. Hua Jinyao stood up and walked to her, reaching out to hold her hand. Think about it. I'm married to you. But you didn't invite me to a party with your friends. You're obviously treating me like an outsider, so of course I'm unhappy. Hua Jinyao, I understand. Don't worry, I will restrain myself if I'm unhappy like this in the future. But you have to promise me that if you have a gathering with your friends in the future, please call me, okay? This is not. Don't worry, my table manners aren't ugly either. It's not like he's smacking his lips. If you bring me along, I can even pay for you. How great is that? That's right, it's decided then, Hua Jinyao concluded. Next time you have dinner with your friends, you must invite me. If I'm having dinner with my colleagues, I'll invite you too. That was fair, right? How was that fair? That was not what she meant at all. Hua Jinyao, I mean, all right honey, I'm starving. I haven't eaten yet. I'm going to take a shower first. Could you please order takeout for me? Hua, or you can make a bowl of noodles for me. But I don't want you to do it, so I'll order takeout. As soon as she finished speaking, Hua Jinyao gave her another heavy kiss on the face. He kissed the rest of her words away. Chapter 92. By the time Hua Jinyao finished showering, the takeout had arrived. As soon as Su Qingsang put the takeout on the dining table, Hua Jinyao wrapped his arms around her. Honey, you're so nice. Get out of my way. I'm not. Hua Jinyao kissed her on the cheek. Honey, you're so nice. Look, you're so soft-hearted. You even know to order my favorite dishes. She didn't. She just ordered casually. Let go of me. I'm going to take a shower. Su Qingsang looked at the man who was as big as a dog and was speechless. She was almost done with her thesis, but she hadn't fully understood a lot of the materials Hua Hongchen brought back last time. When she was almost done and went back to her room, she found that Hua Jinyao was still awake. Su Qingsang went into the bathroom to wash up. As soon as she lay down, Hua Jinyao came over. Honey, what are you doing? Sensing that his hand was on her body where it shouldn't be, Su Qingsang's vigilance immediately rose to the highest. Nothing. Hua Jinyao looked a little sad. I just wanted to ask if I could borrow your hand for a while. Borrow her hand? Why would he borrow her hand? Su Qingsang's hand was quickly grabbed by Hua Jinyao. When she touched something, she quickly withdrew her hand. Hua Jinyao, that's enough. Honey. Hua Jinyao grabbed her hand again. Just for a while. Just for a while. Su Qingsang was so angry that she almost laughed. Was he really just for a while? You have your own hand. I won't borrow it. That's different. What's different? Your hand is more tender. As Hua Jinyao spoke, he held Su Qingsang's hand in his and raised it to his face. Look at my wife. Not only is she beautiful, but her hand is also beautiful. It's white and tender. That's enough. Was her hand tofu? It was white and tender. Honey, just lend it to me for a while. Hua Jinyao didn't give up. Su Qingsang ignored him and quickly withdrew her hand. She turned over and slept on the other side of the bed. Honey. Hua Jinyao came over again. You're so cruel. Hua Jinyao. She had had enough. If you keep messing around, I'll sleep in the guest room. Hua Jinyao didn't dare to make a sound, but his face was still full of grievance. He held Su Qingsang in his arms and didn't dare to do anything else, but he still didn't give up. Actually, shut up, I want to sleep. Honey, you haven't told me who you're having dinner with tonight. Su Qingsang felt a throbbing pain in her forehead. She abruptly turned around and looked at Hua Jinyao. If you keep making noise, I'll go back to work at the hospital. I won't come back for a week. Honey, you don't have to be so ruthless, right? He had just been on a business trip for a week. It wasn't convenient for her to come back. She still had to be on duty. Are you going to sleep? Sit. Hua Jinyao raised his hand and made a zipper gesture over his mouth. That aggrieved look on his face was unparalleled. Su Qingsang didn't want to look at him anymore, so she turned away from him. She closed her eyes to sleep, but the corners of her lips couldn't help curling up, and she fell asleep with a faint smile. He Xianyao put the proposal in front of Hua Jinyao. Her little face was still a little nervous. Chapter 93. Hua Jinyao didn't rush to get the proposal. Instead, he looked at He Xianyao expressionlessly. If I remember correctly, Mr. He used to be in charge of this, right? The president he was talking about was naturally He Xiankai. Hua Jinyao didn't have much of an impression of He Xianyao. However, He Xiankai had worked with him several times. Both of them were from Rong City and were considered young talents of the upper-class society. They could not help but appreciate each other. However, he didn't expect He Xiankai to be such a good brother who loved his sister so much. That's right. My brother used to be in charge of this, but I'm back in the country now, and I'm also studying in this field. I think it's completely fine for me to be in charge of this. He Xuanyao's attitude was neither servile nor overbearing. She was polite and well-mannered. She now understood that there were some things that couldn't be solved by crying. She had to let Hua Jinyao know that He Xianyao, was not a good-for-nothing. He was also capable and responsible. All right, I got it. Hua Jinyao nodded. Leave the proposal. I have a meeting to attend. I'll let you know the results later. President Hua, I don't think this is appropriate. He Xuanyao's voice was very soft. Our company has shown the greatest sincerity for cooperation, and we have been working very well together. Why are you being so perfunctory now? If you think it's perfunctory, then so be it. I only know that our company needs to calculate and compare the data of every collaboration. If you're not sure, you can go back and ask Mr. He. He Xianyao bit her lip and was about to retort when she suddenly smiled. Since President Hua is busy, I'll take my leave first. President Hua could wait for the results before letting him know. I will be in Lin City during this period of time. Hua Jinyao didn't comment. He Xianyao got up and left. Before he left, he suddenly stopped in his tracks. By the way, President Hua, something off topic. Before I came to Lin City, I had the honor of meeting Auntie. She seems to miss you a lot. If it's convenient for you, you should go back to Rong City to visit Auntie. Hua Jinyao raised his eyebrows and didn't respond to He Xuanyao's words. Only when he was out did he press the inside line. His assistant, Yang Wencheng, walked in. Mr. Hua. Hua Jinyao glanced at the proposal, and a cold light flashed across his eyes. Wencheng, help me with something. Hearing Hua Jinyao's order, Yang Wencheng was a little stunned, but he quickly left. Hua Jinyao picked up the proposal, and the coldness in his eyes did not fade at all. It seemed that while he was not in Rong City, these people were making more and more moves. Interesting, very interesting. Su Qingsang had just come out of the operating room when she received the call. Today, there was a pregnant woman in a bad condition. She and her teacher worked together for a long time to save both mother and child. The voice on the other side of the phone made her have no choice but to quickly pick up her bag and phone and leave the hospital. When she left the hospital, she found that her car had been driven away by Hua Jinyao. She had no choice but to take a taxi. Hua Jinyao had to go to work, and she had to be on duty in the future. Time cannot be together forever. Should she buy a car to get around? When she thought of this, she was a little worried. Hua Jinyao seemed to have a lot of pride. If she really bought a car, would he think too much? Realizing that she was actually thinking about Hua Jinyao's cultivation method, Su Qingsang's mood became extremely complicated. Chapter 94. When they arrived at their destination, Su Qingsang got out of the car and registered at the gate before entering the school. Su Qingsang hadn't been to middle school for many years. Speaking of which, this was also her alma mater. The children of the Su family weren't too bad at learning. Even though Su Yusin had caused such a ruckus, he was still a top student. When she arrived at the teacher's office, Su Qingsang saw Su Yusin standing by the desk. The matter was not complicated. Su Qingsang actually knew that. Today was the day when Bai Jihan was discharged from the hospital. Because Bai Jihan did not let her parents know, no one came to pick her up from the hospital. Su Yusin was not fake. He had asked for leave before, but he had not agreed to it. This brat had actually climbed over the wall. Then he was caught red-handed by the guard. It was true that the children in this high school were all wealthy and respectable, but this high school had always been known for being strict. In particular, Su Yusin actually regressed in this monthly test. Previously he was in first place, but now he was in 9th place. The teacher was naturally angry and wanted to call the parents. Su Yusin didn't dare to let Su Qinghui or Li Qianxue know, so he called Su Qingsang. Sorry. After listening to her teacher's complaint, Su Qingsang stood in front of Su Yusin and said, "Teacher, this matter is indeed Yusin's fault. But he has his reasons." Su Qingsang smiled gently and said, "My sister was sick. Then I'm busy with work these days. My parents are on a business trip again, and Yusin is like this because he wants to take care of his sister." "You have a sister?" The teacher looked at Su Yusin. Yes. The two of them spoke at the same time, showing great tacit understanding. The teacher believed him and lectured him a few more times. He said that his studies were the most important and that even if someone in his family was sick, he could tell the teacher that he could only go out after applying for leave. Su Yusin's attitude was very good. Su Qingsang accompanied him to listen to the teacher's lecture and promised that he would work harder next time. Only then did she bring Su Yusin out. The two went to pick up Bai Jihan and sent her home. To the Bai family's parents, she only said that she was not feeling well at school because of low blood pressure and anemia, so she came back to rest. Su Qingsang drove Su Yusin back to school. Su Yusin would take the college entrance examination next year. For kids like them, it didn't matter even if they couldn't get into a university. They could just send them abroad to spend their golden years. However, Su Qinghui had always been very strict with Su Yusin, so if Su Yusin's grades were really bad, it would be terrible. "Sister." "Thank you." Su Yusin's sister and "thank you" were especially sincere. "You're welcome." Su Qingsang didn't have much contact with Su Yusin in the past, but now she felt like an older sister to him. "You've already called me sister. There's no need to thank me." Su Yusin's face was a little red. In the past, he really couldn't be considered friendly to this sister. Although he didn't do anything overboard, he also didn't treat her as his sister. "Sister, don't worry. From now on, you are my sister." "Are you stupid? I'm your biological sister." After saying that, Su Qingsang suddenly remembered her identity. Her smile faded and she felt a little awkward. "You are my biological sister." Su Qingsang stopped talking. She wasn't even sure if she was her biological sister. When Hua Jinyao returned home that day, he was surprised to find that Su Qingsang was in a bad mood. "Wife, have you eaten?" "Yes." Su Qingsang didn't pay much attention to him and sat on the side in a daze. Chapter 95. It looked like she had feelings for him. Hua Jinyao sat next to her and reached out to put his arms around her waist. "Nothing." Su Qingsang avoided his hands. She didn't know what to say. She wasn't sure when Su Yusin said that she was his sister. "Honey." Hua Jinyao dragged the last word and held her stubbornly in his arms. "Who made you unhappy? Tell me and I'll beat him up." Su Qingsang's low spirits were somewhat lifted by his words, but she was still speechless. That's enough. This man talked and acted like a child. Could this kind of person really do a good job and have outstanding performance at work? Why didn't she believe it? Tell me. Tell me. Seeing that she didn't want to speak, Hu Jinyao asked again, you see, when we talk about happy things, it makes both of us happy. But when the unhappy things are said, only half of the person is unhappy. Do you think you should tell me? I'm really fine. She was just thinking about her background. Whether it was the outside world or the Li family, they all knew that she was the illegitimate daughter of Su Chenghui who betrayed Li Qianxue. She had never seen her mother since she was born. What she knew was that Su Chenghui had her with another woman and then asked for Li Qianxue's forgiveness. A few days after she was born, he took her back to the Su family. Su Chenghui and Li Qianxue had been married for less than a year at that time, but they had an illegitimate daughter. One could imagine the storm. Therefore, her position in the Su family was awkward, and because of this, Su Chenghui and Li Qianxue's relationship had always been superficial. Otherwise, she wouldn't have given birth to Su Yusin after 8 years. It could be seen that Li Qianxue simply disliked Su Chenghui at that time. These words were not said by the Su family. She heard them from the servants of the Su family. Later, those servants talked nonsense again, and they were all fired by Su Chenghui. She was curious about her biological mother. She only asked Su Chenghui who her mother was once, but Su Chenghui refused to tell her. The other members of the Su family wouldn't mention it. Sometimes, she even wondered if she was Su Chenghui's daughter. Could he have carried her back from outside? But it didn't make sense. If she wasn't Su Chenghui's daughter, why would Su Chenghui raise her? Honey. Hu Jinyao was displeased when he realized that she was daydreaming. You've been daydreaming for 10 minutes. Su Qingsang came back to her senses and looked at him as if she had just seen him. Have you eaten? Hu Jinyao couldn't help but look at her with a sad face. Why didn't you wait for me to pick you up at the hospital today? Where did you go? Su Qingsang frowned and thought of her previous plan. Right, I want to buy a car. I'll leave this car for you to use. Why are you doing this? I'll be happy to take you to and from work. It's not about whether you like it or not. Su Qingsang thought about the reality of the situation. I can't be on duty forever. There were also cases of sudden surgeries. Your time can't always coincide with mine. Besides, it would be more convenient if I had a car. Hu Jinyao looked into her eyes. Honey, do you dislike me? Despise you? I don't. You still say you don't, Hu Jinyao said accusingly. You just think that I'm useless and incompetent. I can't even afford a car. I didn't say that. This accusation made her speechless. Don't worry about the car. I'll buy it. Chapter 96. Hu Jinyao blinked his eyes, then turned away with a smile and took her hand. I've been negotiating a big deal recently. If it goes well, I'll get a big bonus. Don't rush to buy a car. I'll buy it when I get the bonus, okay? What kind of order can get as much as a car? The more he explained, the more confused Su Qingsang became. Although she was a doctor, the Su family and the Li family were not. What kind of order could buy a car? It's not a very expensive car. Just buy a cheap car. What kind of cheap car is it? For example, a sports car? Hu Jinyao casually mentioned a car model he had just seen on a mobile phone advertisement. That's more than 100,000, right? Su Qingsang turned to look at him, and the suspicion on her face deepened. Let's not talk about the car. Can you tell me what kind of order it is? It's just a normal order. Hu Jinyao looked at Su Qingsang's curious face and suddenly said, I haven't had dinner. I'm so hungry now. I'm so hungry that my stomach hurts. Su Qingsang stared at his face, suspecting that he was deliberately changing the topic. But she couldn't help but show some concern. Stomach hurts? Where does it hurt? Do you need to take medicine? No medicine. Just cook a bowl of noodles for me. Hu Jinyao touched his stomach. I'm really hungry. He was a man, but he spoke with such a tone and expression. Su Qingsang didn't know what to say. She sighed helplessly. She always seemed to be very helpless when it came to Hu Jinyao. She got up and went to the kitchen to cook noodles for him. She didn't see the subtle change in Hua Jinyao's expression after she left. After dinner, Hua Jinyao didn't let Su Qingsang wash the dishes. Your hands are so beautiful. They will get rough if you wash the dishes. Honey, be good. I'll find someone to wash them tomorrow. You want to hire a part-time worker? Yeah. Just enough to cook and clean for us. Aren't you happy? Su Qingsang wasn't talking about that. She was thinking, hiring a part-time worker costs money, right? You're buying a car and hiring a worker. What kind of order are you doing? Hua Jinyao looked at Su Qingsang's face and suddenly realized that it was not a good thing to marry a wife who was too smart. Uh-huh. Su Qingsang asked again. Hua Jinyao suddenly blinked. Well, wifey, tell me, I'm listening. Your relative has left, hasn't he? Hua Jinyao sat up straight and suddenly moved closer to Su Qingsang. It's been a few days. They should have left by now, right? The feeling of being stared at by a large dog came again. For a moment, Su Qingsang forgot what she was going to say. Hua Jinyao's face fell, but soon his eyes lit up. Honey, I'll lend it to you. I'm sleepy. Su Qingsang didn't have time to ask him what the project was. It was better to turn over and sleep now. Honey, I really only want to borrow it for a while. Honey. Wife. Su Qingsang closed her eyes and ignored him. The vague feeling that something was wrong came again, but she ignored it. President Hua, what did you think of the proposal last time? Di Shenyao looked at Hua Jinyao. The smile on her face was faint, but there was a light of determination in it. I've read it. Hua Jinyao, who was behind the desk, was much calmer than Di Shenyao. And? Chapter 97. Di Shenyao didn't look too good. She was involved in the proposal. Did Hua Jinyao mean that she was no longer capable? Was he really dissatisfied with the plan, or was he dissatisfied with her? President Hua, I don't know what you're not satisfied with, but I think we can improve on it. There's no need to change it. None of them are satisfied. Hua Jinyao didn't give her any face. Di Xuanyao's face turned green. President Hua, our companies have been working together for a long time. You know we've been working together for a long time. Since we're old partners, of course you should know our requirements. But to make something like this, do you think it's appropriate? Then you should at least tell me what you're dissatisfied with, right? I said, I'm not satisfied with any of them. Hua Jinyao's words made Di Shenyao angry. She took a deep breath to calm herself down. President Hua, Auntie Hua, and Uncle Hua, stop. Hua Jinyao stood up and stared into Di Xuanyao's eyes with a sharp gaze across the desk. Don't mention my parents in front of me. Business was business and private was private. If you like my parents, or if you think my parents like you, you can stay with my parents. But when it comes to cooperation, especially in this aspect, I have the final say. Understand? Di Shenyao had seen the world. But now, she was so overwhelmed by Hua Jinyao's imposing manner that she couldn't even raise her head. She opened and closed her mouth, but couldn't find her voice for a long time. Jean, whether it's in private or with others, please call me President Hua or Mr. Hua. Now, please leave. Hua Jinyao sat back down. Di Shenyao, who couldn't stand the humiliation, gritted her teeth and was about to leave. Don't forget the proposal. Hua Jinyao's voice rang out. She could only grit her teeth and go get it again. She would remember this humiliation. Looking at the closed door, Hua Jinyao picked up the phone and dialed the intercom. Release the news. Tianyu is planning to open a public bidding for the next project. Tianyu was the name of the current branch in Lin City. The He clan, did they really think that they were the only ones who had something to talk about? That might not be the case. Luo Meishan put down the shopping bag in her hand and sat down at the coffee table. She looked at Su Peijian and said, Peijian, that dress really suits you. Why didn't you buy it? I don't like it. Su Peijian's voice was slightly cold. Whether she was at home or outside, she had always been cold. Her clothes were taken care of by professional people, and the new styles of the major brands were delivered to the Su family before they were released. The only reason he came out to shop was because he was free today. Alright. Luo Meishan seemed to think of something. I think I saw your brother when I went to the hospital for a physical examination a few days ago. Yusin. Su Peijian raised her eyebrows. She finally looked interested. Why did he go to the hospital? Are you not feeling well? The Su family had a specialized family doctor, and they would have a regular checkup every year. Although Su Yusin went to school outside, their school was an elite school. There should be a school doctor. I don't know, but I think he came out from the obstetrics and gynecology department. Luo Meishan paused. Later, I went to take a look. It seems that your illegitimate daughter works in that hospital. Su Qingsang? Why was Su Yusin looking for her? Chapter 98. How can I not know your brother? I even went back to take a look. Your wife's office is right there. If I'm not wrong, your brother came out of her office. Seeing Su Peijian lost in thought, Luo Meishan added, why do I feel that this might be a trick of that B***start of yours? What can she do? It wasn't that Su Peijian looked down on Su Qingsang. With her quiet character, what kind of waves could she stir up? Isn't it hard to guess? Think about it. Your mother is the only daughter of the Li family. Whether it's the Su family or the Li family, all the property will belong to you and your brother. It has nothing to do with that B***starred. But what if she doesn't want to? She can't do anything to you, but your brother is young and ignorant. It's hard to say if she wants to hook up with your brother. Needless to say, they were all smart people. Su Peijian pressed her lips into a straight line. How dare she? Su Qinghui gave her a dowry when she got married. She should not have been entitled to a penny of it in the first place. Not to mention that the Su family bought her a house and a car. Why wouldn't they dare? Luo Meishan sneered. These people are greedy and insatiable. Compared with the Li family's huge property, what she has now is nothing. Su Peijian stood up, and Luo Meishan quickly grabbed her hand. What are you doing? I'm going to find her. Don't. Luo Meishan took her hand and asked her to sit down. If you go to her now, there's nothing you can do if she doesn't admit it. Su Peijian sat down again, thinking about Luo Meishan's words. But if she has such a plan, she will definitely give herself away. Then what do you want to do? The Mid-Autumn Festival is coming. I'll ask my father to call her to come back for the festival. If she doesn't have that intention, she will keep a distance from Yusin, just like before. If she has a guilty conscience, she will definitely get close to Yusin. Smart. Luo Meishan gave her an admiring look. Then you can catch her in the act. No. Su Peijian shook her head, her beautiful eyes flashing with sharpness. Su Qingsang, it's fine if you don't provoke me. If you provoke me, I will let you know what it means to draw water with a sieve. When Hua Jinyao came out of the bathroom, he found Su Qingsang staring blankly at her phone. What happened? Su Qingsang shook her head. She didn't know what to say. Honey. Hua Jinyao put his arm around her waist. That relative of yours should have left, right? How many days has it been? Stop fooling around. Su Qingsang didn't have time to talk to him. She held her phone with a serious look on her face. Honey, are you all right? Hua Jinyao sat up straight and looked at her nervously. My dad called me to come home for the holidays. Festival? What festival? It's the Mid-Autumn Festival next week. Su Qingsang's voice was flat. My father suddenly called me and asked me to go home to celebrate the festival with him. Let's go then. Hua Jinyao said calmly. Su Qingsang rolled her eyes at him. Since I moved to boarding school in high school, my father has never asked me to go home for the Mid-Autumn Festival. Do you think he suddenly asked me to go back like this? What's wrong with that? Hua Jinyao shrugged with a normal expression. You're married this year. You're not the same person anymore. A new son-in-law has to come to visit. Chapter 99. Although he had kept the fact that he had come to Lin City a secret, some people with ulterior motives couldn't stop him. If someone were to find out, they would definitely come knocking on his door to curry favor with him. Su Qinghui was a smart man. He was Qingsang's biological father, even if he didn't have to please her. But in this state, he definitely wouldn't offend her. Really? Su Qingsang pursed her lips into a straight line. She felt that something was wrong, but she couldn't figure out why. Alright. Hua Jinyao didn't like it when she kept paying attention to the Su family's stupidity. His big hands circled her waist, and his chin rested on her neck. Honey, I haven't had enough to eat recently. Then you go eat. You can also order takeout. Hua Jinyao hired a part-time helper to come over every afternoon to clean up the house and make dinner. There should still be ingredients left behind by the other party in the fridge. It's not that I'm hungry. Hua Jinyao rubbed his face against her shoulder. You've starved me for a long time. What? Hua Jinyao. Su Qingsang couldn't stand it anymore and stood up. Couldn't this guy be more serious? I said it's not convenient for me. You lied to me. Hua Jinyao turned over and pressed her under his body. How many days have you been inconvenienced? Her body suddenly lost balance, but the soft pillow didn't make her uncomfortable. His face was right in front of hers, and her heart skipped a beat. I'm sleepy. I want to sleep. It's okay. We'll sleep together. Hua Jinyao, I really don't. It's convenient for you. I know. Hua Jinyao kissed her lips. He remembered the treasures he had bought online. Why hasn't he sent it back yet? He couldn't wait for Su Qingsang to put it on. He couldn't wait to see how Su Qingsang would look in those thin and beautiful fabrics. Hua Jinyao. Su Qingsang gritted her teeth. This guy, can't he think of anything else other than this? Hua Jinyao kissed her neck and said, Honey, you can't. Tomorrow is Saturday, so you have to let me eat my fill today. You, sure. Hua Jinyao gently kissed away her voice. Then, he made her unable to speak again. Su Qingsang had been a little uneasy before. She didn't think that the Su family would harm her or anything. However, the relationship that was clearly trying hard to distance itself suddenly became closer. It always made people wonder if there was something going on. Such uneasiness disappeared after receiving Su Yusun's call. Su Yusun called her and told her that he had called Su Qinghui. She wanted him to invite her back for the festival this year. Since Su Yusun said so, there was no problem. Su Qingsang was relieved and thought of something else. In the past, Su Yusun's relationship with her had only been ordinary. But if he did this, would it make her attract the attention of Li Qianxue and Su Qinghui again? Of course, she didn't value him that way. Su Qingsang thought for a moment. It seemed that it was still necessary to remind Su Yusun in private to maintain his previous appearance. Otherwise, the other members of the Su family and the Li family would be unhappy. Su Qingsang's daydream was interrupted again. The corners of her mouth twitched as she watched Hua Jinyao walk in happily. She really didn't understand. How could Hua Jinyao be so energetic? Moreover, he always looked happy as if he had won 5 million yuan. Chapter 100. Wife. Hua Jinyao carried a large cardboard box into the room. The cardboard box was a little big, and then he walked to her and put it down. What is this? A gift. Hua Jinyao had a proud expression on his face. It's a gift for you. A gift. Su Qingsang looked at the box that she couldn't see what was inside. Why do you want to give me a gift? It wasn't New Year's Day. It wasn't their birthdays either. What kind of gift was she giving him? A full moon gift. Hua Jinyao clapped his hands. You see, we've been married for a month. So this is a full moon gift. The corner of Su Qingsang's mouth twitched. How could he say that? All right. Hua Jinyao picked up the box again. Let's go try it on. Clothes. Try it now? Su Qingsang wanted to refuse, but Sister Lu, the part-time helper, had already finished cooking. Miss Su, Mr. Hua, time to eat. Hua Jinyao only realized that there were other people in the room. He suddenly looked a little uncomfortable. Let's eat first. We'll try it after eating. After that, he picked up the box and went to the room. Su Qingsang was left staring at his back in surprise. Acting so mysterious. What was this guy doing? After eating, Su Qingsang's doubts were answered. She watched as Hua Jinyao came out with the treasure he had bought online in his hand. It was as if he was presenting a treasure. Let's try this. Hua Jinyao took out one of them, which he thought was the most suitable for Su Qingsang. Su Qingsang looked at the thin pajamas, which were as thin as if she wasn't wearing them at all. Don't worry, I bought them according to your size. I promise you can wear them. I don't want to wear them. Su Qingsang refused and ignored Hua Jinyao. I'm going to take a shower. Wife. Hua Jinyao reached out to hold her hand. She was caught off guard. Her body softened and she sat directly on the bed. Hua Jinyao turned his face sideways and handed the pajamas to her with a smile. Try it on. I really think it suits you. Stop it. I'm not. Hua Jinyao's voice sounded a little aggrieved. Honey, don't you like the present I bought? I don't like it. Who would like this kind of rags that were no different from wearing nothing? But I like it. Hua Jinyao held her body in his arms. Look, I like this. Just promise me that you'll wear it for me. If you don't agree, I'll help you change right now. Hua Jinyao was about to take off her clothes as he spoke. How could Su Qingsang let him have his way? She used her hands and feet to push his hand away and then quickly got up. Seeing that Hua Jinyao was going to pester her again, she was very annoyed. On impulse, he grabbed the thin black cloth and rushed into the bathroom. Don't follow me in. Hua Jinyao had achieved his goal, so he wouldn't go in again. Putting away the rest, he began to think about how to let her have one piece a day for the next few days. An idea flashed through Hua Jinyao's mind. His eyes lit up, and he quickly got up to take a shower in the guest bathroom. Su Qingsang struggled in the bathroom for a long time, but she didn't have the courage to put on the pajamas. She really hated Hua Jinyao and felt that he had gone too far. But she also knew that if she didn't wear it, he might really help her wear it. When Su Qingsang came out of the bathroom, Hua Jinyao had already taken a shower and was waiting for her on the bed for a long time. Chapter 101. Seeing Su Qingsang come out, the corners of Hua Jinyao's mouth dropped. Su Qingsang was wearing her pajamas, but she still had a bath towel wrapped around her. He could only see the corner of her skirt under the towel and the two thin straps on her shoulders. Looking at the light that almost pierced through the towel, Su Qingsang quickly walked to the other side of the bed and went to sleep. Okay, it's late. Go to sleep. She pulled up the quilt to cover herself, but Hua Jinyao was faster than her. He quickly threw the quilt aside and pulled her bath towel. Hua Jinyao. The bath towel left her body and fell to the ground. Su Qingsang was embarrassed. She reached out and turned off the light. Hua Jinyao had already grabbed her hand and held her waist with the other hand. Honey. Hua Jinyao lowered his head and smelled the fragrance on her body. He felt that the smell was refreshing. You're so beautiful. Stop it. Su Qingsang turned her head. I'm sleepy. I'm going to sleep. Okay. I'm sleepy too. Let's sleep together. His sleep was definitely not the same as hers. Honey. Hua Jinyao's voice was much hoarser than usual. He kissed her on the cheek and said, Black really suits you. Shut up. Her face began to burn. Really? It's very beautiful. Hua Jinyao thought about the images in his mind. Don't worry, I also bought red, white, and many other colors. My wife is beautiful and her skin is fair. Any color is beautiful. Su Qingsang not only blushed, but also her toes. Don't say it. Okay, I won't say it. He did. Su Qingsang didn't even have the strength to lift a finger. She watched Hua Jinyao carry her to the bathroom to wash and carry her out. She wanted to sleep, but Hua Jinyao didn't want to. He had just eaten a big meal and was in a very good mood. Honey. Su Qingsang didn't want to talk to him. She knew very well how easily this guy got excited. How about we pick a time to go on our honeymoon? I don't have time. She had a lot of things to do in the hospital, so she couldn't leave. How can you not have time? Isn't it National Day soon? Are you the only doctor in your hospital? You should be able to take a few days off, right? I'll take a look. Over the past few days, they had treated several pregnant women with PIH, and their due dates were all around National Day. Honey. Hua Jinyao put his arms around her waist and kissed her on the neck. We haven't even gone out to play together. Maybe next time. Faced with his attitude and tone, Su Qingsang somehow couldn't bring herself to reject him. Don't worry, I can arrange everything for you when the time comes. It was true. I promise you'll have a good time. Su Qingsang felt sleepy and wanted to sleep. Hua Jinyao was still in high spirits. Honey, do you have anywhere you want to go? Tell me. Where do you want to go? Su Qingsang thought about her childhood dream and closed her sleepy eyes. Her voice became softer and softer. Norway. Norway? You want to go to Norway? Do you like it? Su Qingsang turned over and habitually found a relatively more comfortable position in his arms. Yes, I want to see the aurora borealis. After saying that, she fell asleep because she was so tired. Hua Jinyao looked down at her. Her face was only the size of his palm. Her eyes were closed, and her long eyelashes were like small fans. Her skin was so white that it was almost transparent. Not even a pore could be seen. She was defenseless and snuggled against his chest like a kitten. Chapter 102. The Su family used to celebrate the Mid-Autumn Festival with Old Master Li every year. Old Master Li's name was Li Yongfeng. In Lin City, he was considered a man of his word. He had only married one wife, Gao Yue. After giving birth to Li Qianxue, his health began to deteriorate. Li Yongfeng loved his wife so much that he didn't let her have a second child. Li Qianxue was his only daughter. He raised Li Qianxue like a son. Li Qianxue was very diligent. She had never made him worry about anything since she was a child. The only difference was that 27 years ago, she fell in love with Su Qinghui, who was only a department manager in the Li family's company. Su Qinghui's family was ordinary. In his opinion, he was not good enough for his daughter. However, Li Qianxue was obsessed with him. His daughter liked him. After more than a year, Li Yongfeng finally agreed to be with her. However, he didn't expect that Su Qinghui would have an illegitimate daughter after less than a year of marriage. How could old Master Li not be angry? However, no matter how angry he was, the fact was that, even if he didn't like Su Qingsang, he wouldn't make things difficult for her. The family he had chosen before, although the man had some minor problems and was too indecisive. But with Su Qingsang's personality, it wasn't inappropriate. Now seeing Su Qingsang walk in with Hua Jinyao, he had to admit, Su Qingsang had good taste. This Hua Jinyao was probably not an ordinary person. Old master, dad, aunt. They were family, but Su Qingsang had been calling them by such strange names for more than 20 years. She had long been used to it. Hua Jinyao greeted them and gave them a gift. This time, Su Qingsang chose the gift. It wasn't expensive, but it was a gift for these people. Su Qingsang didn't know if it was an illusion, but she felt that Su Peijian was looking at her in a particularly unfriendly way today. She couldn't help but look at her. Su Peijian looked away from her. She was relieved. It might have been an illusion. She met Su Yusen's eyes and found that he was winking at her. Su Qingsang almost gave him a smile, but she held back. She nodded as a greeting. Old Master Li liked to play chess. Before Su Qingsang and Hua Jinyao arrived, he was playing chess with Su Qinghui. Su Qinghui was no match for Old Master Li in chess. After a few rounds, they all lost. Dad's chess skills are superb. I am ashamed of my inferiority. If you could focus your mind on business on chess, you wouldn't lose to me. Old Master Li's words didn't sound pleasant, but Su Qinghui pretended not to hear it. He didn't know how to play chess. If it weren't for the fact that he wanted to make Old Master Li happy, he wouldn't have learned it. Old Master Li suddenly turned around and saw Hua Jinyao. You come here. Hua Jinyao rubbed his nose and stood in front of Old Master Li. Can you play chess? A little. How about we play a game together? Captain Li's eyes lit up. He had his own channels. Recently, Lin City seemed to be much livelier than before. My pleasure. Hua Jinyao sat down. Su Qingsang glanced at him, not expecting him to know how to play chess. Her eyes became more inquisitive. Hua Jinyao always seemed to surprise her. Hua Jinyao picked up a black piece and looked at Old Master Li. The white piece goes first. Old Master, please. Chapter 103. Hua Jinyao didn't seem to notice it at all. He was focused on setting up the chess game. Su Qinghui knew a little about chess, and he was a little stunned when he looked at the chess game. Old Master Li was astute and good at making arrangements. Hua Jinyao's chess style was to deal with every move without fear. The two of them played back and forth. On the surface, it seemed that Old Master Li had the upper hand, but those who knew chess knew that Old Master Li would definitely lose this game. Li Qianxue came out after instructing the servants to pay attention to the dinner preparation. Gao Yue was a lady from a wealthy family, so she naturally dabbled in the four arts. She glanced at the chessboard and then looked at Hua Jinyao with a deeper meaning. Su Peijian had been staring at the chessboard. She turned her eyes and found that Su Qingsang and Su Yusin had disappeared. In the garden outside, Su Yusin and Su Qingsang stood behind an orange tree. She looked at her brother, Su Yusin, who was taller than her, and said softly, "Don't do something like this next time." "What is it?" "He asked me to come for the festival." Su Qingsang sighed in her heart. "And he won't like to see me." "I know." Su Yusin waved his hand and didn't care. "But you are a family with us. How can we not spend the festival together?" Su Qingsang felt a little gratified and a little bitter. Su Yusin was a young man with a simple mind. It was really much simpler to get along with each other. "I thank you. But I really think it's good. You see, I'm married anyway, and I won't be alone for the festival in the future. So it doesn't matter. Is he good to you?" Su Yusin didn't have much contact with Hua Jinyao, so he didn't care before. Now that he owed Su Qingsang a favor, he paid more attention to her marriage. "Pretty good." Su Qingsang looked at Su Yusin's adult face and found it a little funny. "Okay, don't worry about me. How is Xiaobai?" "It's okay." Su Yusin was still a little uncomfortable. "I wanted to help her ask for leave. It just so happened that it's a holiday. She's resting at home now." "That's good." The little girl was still young, so it wouldn't affect her too much. "But you, Yusin." The sudden voice made Su Qingsang and Su Yusin turn their faces at the same time. One of them was talking about Bai Jihan, and she looked a little guilty. The other one didn't want Su Peijian to hear about Bai Jihan, so she looked a little awkward. Su Peijian looked at the strange expressions on their faces. What Luo Meishan had told her before seemed to have become true. She took a few steps forward and stood in front of the two of them. The corners of Su Peijian's lips curled up into a faint smile. "Yusin, what are you talking about here? You're so engrossed in it that you're not even going to talk about it inside?" "Nothing," Su Yusin interrupted Su Peijian. "We were just having a casual chat." "Have a casual chat? What do you want to talk about?" Su Peijian turned to look at Su Qingsang. Her gaze was like an X-ray. "I didn't know that you had something to talk about with a student like Yusin." Su Qingsang didn't like Su Peijian's aggressive tone, nor did she like her attitude. "It's nothing." The old man was playing chess inside. "We were too lazy to watch, so we came out for a walk. Let's go in now." After saying this, she glanced at Su Yusin again, signaling him to stop talking. The more he said, the more mistakes he would make. It was better not to say anything. However, this expression confirmed Su Peijian's guess. For a moment, her expression became more and more unsightly. Chapter 104. Nothing, just a casual chat. After all, Su Yusin was only a 17-year-old boy. He tried his best to act as if nothing had happened, but Su Peijian could still tell that something was wrong. "What do you mean by casual chat? Yusin, be honest. What secret do you have with Su Qingsang that I can't know? Why are you being so mysterious?" "What's so mysterious?" Su Yusin didn't like to hear that. "No matter what, she's my daughter, right? We're sister and brother. What's wrong with a chat? Sister and brother?" Su Peijian's face darkened. Su Qingsang was an illegitimate daughter. Raising her was already a great blessing. What right did she have to call Su Yusin sister and brother? Isn't that right? Su Yusin looked at his sister's face and didn't want to say more. "Okay, I got it. I'll go in now." Su Peijian had never treated her younger brother like this before. Her breath was stuck in her throat, and she felt very uncomfortable. She was the daughter of heaven. Her parents loved her, and everyone around her adored her. Even Su Yusin had to be a stone's throw away from her parents. This was the first time Su Yusin had spoken to her in such an impatient tone. How could Su Peijian bear it? While eating, Su Qingsang found that Su Peijian looked at her from time to time. She was a little confused. She thought of her conversation with Su Yusin in the garden. Su Peijian must have suspected something. Here, honey, this. Hua Jinyao picked up a piece of fish and put it in Su Qingsang's bowl. She turned around and Hua Jinyao was smiling brightly at her, showing his white teeth. When she turned her head again, she found that the Su family's eyes were on her. She felt more and more uncomfortable. "Okay, I can eat it myself. This beef is good too." Hua Jinyao picked up another piece of food for her as if he couldn't feel other people's gazes. "Enough. I can take it." Su Qingsang hurriedly stopped him. This person was really too much. Couldn't he look at the situation? "I know you can. But I like to take food for you." Hua Jinyao said it with a calm face, as if taking food for her was something that made him happy. Su Qingsang's heart warmed when she met his eyes. She didn't feel comfortable staying in the Su family. Naturally, she didn't dare to reveal her preferences or anything else. All these years, whenever she ate with the Su family, she would only eat the dishes in front of her. For so many years, no one had noticed what she was doing. She didn't expect that Hua Jinyao would notice it after sitting beside her for a while. Su Peijian's face darkened. In the past, Qiu Yanba would also come to celebrate the festival. However, he had gone on a business trip these few days. Not to mention having a reunion dinner with them, even their enemies were not present. Seeing Hua Jinyao being so attentive to Su Qingsang, the only thought in her mind was that the two of them were deliberately showing off their affection. Another thing was that he was more guarded against Su Qingsang. Hua Jinyao didn't know Su Qingsang well before, but he cared about her so much. Now it seemed that she had really underestimated her good sister in the past. Not only Su Peijian, but Old Master Li and the others also had different expressions on their faces. Especially Old Master Li. He had been in power for a long time and had dealt with Hua Mingguang of Rong City. According to the information he had received, Hua Jinyao should be Hua Mingguang's son. Not only did he hide his identity and hide in this small Lin city, but he also suddenly married his cheap granddaughter. Chapter 105. Thinking of Hua Jinyao's playing style, Old Master Li's brows knitted together again. "Honey, have some soup." Unlike the others who were either sizing him up or looking at him with inquisitive eyes, Hua Jinyao was much more at ease. She didn't know what he was thinking. One moment, he was putting food into Su Qingsang's bowl, and the next moment, he was pouring soup for her. Su Qingsang felt very uncomfortable, but Hua Jinyao didn't care about how others looked at him. In the end, Su Qingsang simply pretended that she didn't see it and didn't care about other people's gazes. Su Peijian felt that the two of them were very intimate. She subconsciously glanced at Su Yusin again. Seeing that he seemed relieved because of Hua Jinyao's action, she became more and more anxious. Just like that, the meal ended with everyone having different thoughts. After dinner, they were supposed to admire the moon together, but the weather wasn't good today. Although it wasn't raining, the sky was filled with dark clouds. Not even the shadow of the moon could be seen. Seeing that, Su Qingsang and Hua Jinyao stood up together and said goodbye. Old Master Li glanced at Su Qinghui and gestured for him to follow him to the study. Su Yusin went back to his room. Su Peijian stepped forward, hooked her arm around Li Qinshue's, and gestured for her to follow her to the garden outside to admire the moon. Admire the moon? There's no moon. I saw it coming out. Come here. Su Peijian didn't care. She dragged Li Qianxue outside and sat down on the swing in the garden. It was very quiet at this moment. The servant left after serving the refreshments and tea. Only then did Su Peijian tell Li Qianxue what she had discovered. Is that so? Li Qianxue's brows furrowed. She was over 40 years old, but she looked like she was in her early 30s. Her face was stern. Are you sure? Of course I'm sure. Su Peijian was furious at the thought of Su Yusin's behavior. My brother has been obedient since he was young. He didn't care about Su Qingsang at all. Why did the two of them get involved when she got married? This is too strange. Mom. Su Peijian held Li Qinshue's arm and said, "We raised her for more than 20 years. We thought she was easy to deal with. Who would have thought that it would nurture her ambition? What an ingrate. You don't have to worry about this for now." Li Qianxue thought about the information she had received. "I've been watching him for so many years. He didn't cause any trouble. There's no reason I can't catch her now." "Mom, of course I believe you, but Yusin, you're just a kid. What do you know?" A cold glint flashed across Li Qinshue's eyes. When the college entrance examination is over, no matter which school he gets into, let him study abroad. As for Su Qingsang, Li Qianxue didn't do anything to Su Qingsang before because she didn't think it was necessary. However, if Su Qingsang acted recklessly and offended her, she would not be polite. "All right." Li Qianxue patted Su Peijian's hand. "You don't have to worry about these things. You are about to get engaged to Yanbo. Your dad and I are keeping an eye on the company. You should spend more time with Yanbo." "Mom, don't worry. Yanbo is not like those people outside." "Yes." Li Qianxue returned to her room. Su Qinghui had just finished talking with old Master Li and returned to his room. Seeing Li Qianxue enter the door, he acted as if he didn't see her. He took his pajamas and was about to enter the bathroom. Chapter 106. Su Qinghui looked at Li Qianshue's face. The usual gentleness and elegance on his face was gone. The expression on his face was colder than ever before. "What does Dad want to talk to me about? Can't you go ask Dad?" "I'm asking you now, what's your attitude?" Li Qianxue was furious when she saw him like this. "Is this how you talk to your wife? I've always been like this. Didn't you already know that?" Su Qinghui was nearly 50 years old, but because of his good looks, he looked like he was 40. He had a good reputation outside, whether it was his business methods or his character. But that was only in front of outsiders. Li Qianshue's chest heaved violently. Yes, she already knew. He knew it 26 years ago. "Su Qinghui, let me remind you that I gave you everything you have now." "Thank you for reminding me." Su Qinghui's expression was cold. "I don't mind if you want to take it back." "Su Qinghui." His indifferent tone successfully hurt Li Qianxue. "Get out of my way." Su Qinghui didn't seem to notice Li Qianshue's expression. He walked past her and headed for the bathroom. Li Qianxue tried her best to restrain herself, but she couldn't help it. "Su Qinghui, I'm telling you, I won't take it back. Don't even think about divorcing me. In this life, even if I die, don't ever think about being with that woman." Su Qinghui stopped in his tracks. He turned around and looked at Li Qianxue. "Let me tell you, you can only be Mrs. Su in this life." Li Qianxue watched Su Qinghui enter the bathroom. She heard the truth that she had known for a long time, and her heart was filled with not only resentment, anger, but also sadness. Yes, who would know that the eldest miss of the Li family was so arrogant? Li Qianxue, who had been loved by everyone, was living a married life with Su Qinghui in name only? Su Peijian got pregnant with Su Peijian through some tricks. Su Yusin happened to be Su Qinghui when he was drunk. Except for those 2 times, Su Qinghui didn't even bother to touch her. For more than 20 years, they had slept on the same bed, but it was as if they were strangers. All of this was because of that woman. Because that woman was no longer in Lin City. However, that woman's daughter was still an eyesore to her from time to time. Thinking about Su Peijian's words, thinking about how that woman had been stuck between her and Su Qinghui for more than 20 years, Su Qingsang. Don't blame me if it's you. If you want to blame someone, blame that shameless mother of yours. She gave birth to you, but she didn't care about you and left you behind. Just take it as paying off your mother's debt. When Su Qingsang got home, she found that the dark clouds had dispersed. She happily ran to the balcony and looked at the moon outside in a daze. Hua Jinyao went into the kitchen and poured a glass of water. He came out and put the water in her hand. "Thank you." It would take an hour to get back from the Su family, and she was a little thirsty. Hua Jinyao looked at her profile in the moonlight and put his arms around her waist. Su Qingsang didn't look back. The atmosphere was tense, and she didn't want to break it. The moon is so round today. Really? Hua Jinyao glanced at the sky. Isn't it the same every year? Yes. The moon is the same every year. But people were different. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.